1-800-449-8686. That's the number to the Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. And Charlie the Fountain, an ad buyer and media agency owner here in Southern California, his daughter, Allison's going to be marrying Ray Stiles. Ray is a record company executive, works in an A&R department of a record company, and Charlie's an old friend. We've got him on the line with us here. After, we've had a few weddings in the group. Well, Melissa, do you want me to make the announcement for you? Melissa Morgan has just dumped her boyfriend, and no, I'm kidding. Mark asked her to marry him, but he hasn't yet bought the ring. He got it, but then he had to send it back, and I don't know whether Cracker Jack's I'm kidding. It's a very beautiful ring, but you're going to pick it out for him because that's the way chicks is. You can't go buying a woman a ring. How about that, huh, Craig? So, he got the ring, and she looked at it, and she said, send it back, so he did. And now she'll be in Cincinnati next week because he's traveling, he's touring. Mark is, among other things, a musician. And so you're going to be with him in Cincinnati, which I think is a perfect time for you to pick out the ring that you want, which is what is going to happen. And then they will be married sometime in the future, within, what do you figure, 6-7 years? Okay, and I'm going to have to also assume that we're invited to this, or is that not necessarily? That's a big thumbs down, considering the fact that the poor girl and Mark, they're on a budget. And that's the way it is. People are on budgets when it comes to getting married. Charlie the Fountain is with us. First of all, Charlie, congratulations on the marriage of Allison.
Thank you very much, Phil. We're very proud of Allison, and we're very much appreciative of Ray, who is a good man. I think he's a good guy, and he knows what I expect. Ray works for a good company. We were caught a little bit by surprise by this announcement, but she's happy. She's right now having an argument with her father about how we're going to do things.
Allison's having an argument with you?
We're having arguments, yeah. We're going back and forth over some ideas. We are going to be holding I think we're going to be putting together a great event that we have put a lot of time and consideration into.
When is the wedding?
June 24th is coming up. So
June 24th. So you guys have done a lot of planning, huh?
We have done a very, very large portion of the planning, and as you know, Phil, I'm been divorced 3 or 4 times, so I'm between wives right now.
Boy, how does it feel to say that? You got a daughter who's getting married, and you're between wives. I would imagine you don't want that to happen to you, huh?
Well, I don't to happen to me. What?
I'm sorry. I imagine you don't want that to happen to Allison, huh?
No, I don't. I want Allison to be happy. I hope that she's happy. All I'm saying is that I'm doing this by myself, and my office staff is also helping us, and Allison's helping out too. But we're having some problems right now because she doesn't understand certain things that are going on.
What problems? Do you mind me asking?
No, I don't mind asking, and I'm going to have to move into another office here, Phil. And we're having my office painted. I don't mind you asking, Phil, but I will tell you a story. I'm a father. My daughter is 21 years of age. 21 years ago, I brought her into the world. I helped her along with her mother, who is still involved in her life. We brought her into this world, and then she decided one day to get married. Now, she has not gone to college. That was a disappointment to us. She's been living with this guy for the last year or so. Now she wants to marry this guy. And
do you like him? I mean, it sounds to me...
Yeah, I like Ray. I think he's a good guy. He knows what I expect. And what I expect is that he make my daughter happy. And that's where that's going to have to be. She's going to have to make... So he's not going to make her unhappy, I can assure you that. If he were to make her unhappy, I don't even want to talk about it. Okay?
But, I mean, it sounds... You sound hesitant, like maybe this isn't the guy for her.
I think he is. I think he's a good young man. Allison is the one who doesn't understand the world, and we wanted to go to college. She didn't go to college. We were hoping that she was going to get through these early adult years in some shape financially, and she's still not working. So here's what I'm going to do for her. I'm going to pay. Obviously, you're expected to pay for the wedding as the father, and I'm putting $75,000 into this wedding.
Oh my God, man! $75,000.
That's right.
Whoa! What a party! Where are you having it?
We're having it at the Old Florian Hotel in Long Beach.
Wow! What a swank! $75K.
That's right. But see, here's the thing. I'm a businessman, Phil. And
You're a good one.
thank you, but I've been told that I got to pay for this. I say to the people, why? They tell me that's what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to pay for this. You're aware of the fact that the father pays for the...
Yeah, that's traditionally that the bride's father pays for the wedding.
All right, and I told her that I would put on one wing thing of a wedding, but there's going to be some things that I feel... In other words, if I put $75,000 out there, what do I get? This is my answer. This is the question that I have. Nobody has an answer for me. And I ask people, I ask my friends, I ask the business, you put $75,000 out for your daughter's wedding, what do you get? The answer is you should be allowed to expect certain things. Her wedding party, the bridesmaids, 4 very beautiful young ladies that she went to high school with. There's Debbie, there's Kim, there is Janice, and there is Alice. And they're wonderful girls. They're also very attractive girls. For $200, probably you're talking about maybe $20 or $40, and a couple of guys might buy 3 or 4 lap dances. What I'm trying to do is turn this into a situation where I don't have to just see money going out, because I don't think it's fair. And
Well, what do you mean by lap dance?
The bridesmaids is what I'm trying to say. So
The bridesmaids doing what? Lap dances?
what I'm trying to are you aware of the fact that the bride's father...
Yes, that is tradition, Charlie. That's what the bride's father pays for the wedding.
All right. If someone asks me to fork over $75,000 or $10,000 or $20,000, I don't care how much, I have the right to expect some...
Are you trying to make your money back?
What I'm trying to do is make this thing make sense business-wise, because it doesn't make sense business-wise. And I said to Allison what I said, and she got angry, and she went off to her mother's house, and there was a big argument, and I got an argument with her mother. But I know what I know. I'm a good businessman, and I cannot have this girl who never went to college.
Yeah, but wait a minute. You're asking the women in her bridal party, the bridesmaids, and the maid of honor to do lap dances for the men in the...
Yes, that's exactly right.
To do lap dances for the guys in the party.
That is exactly right. The maid of honor. Now, the problem I got in with her mother is when I was talking about $200 for the maid of honor, and that is for an hour. I think that is... And, Phil, I don't want to do anything that's going to disgrace a young lady. If she agrees to it is all I'm asking.
$200 for what? What are you talking about now?
I'm talking about the maid of honor.
$200 an hour, what, to have sex with her?
I'm saying I would only do this if it was not going to disgrace the young lady, only with her approval. I'm not going to force her to do this. But if my daughter wants me to put...
Charlie, you're going to put out $75,000 for your daughter's wedding. You're a generous man. That's a fantastic wedding. And
the girl didn't go to college, Phil. She hasn't gotten a job yet. I'm putting $75,000, and I feel that it is my right to, at some point, and I think it's every father that marries a daughter off has the right to look at the people who are going to the wedding and say, you and you and you and you people pay. She doesn't have the skill. She doesn't have skill one to repay this debt to me. If I can get a cover charge going for the dinner, if I can get cover charges for the drinks, my understanding is that it's entertainment, so I can write that off as an entertainment expense. This is what I'm talking about, is some advertising. When you have a reception, it's like having a dinner at a fine restaurant. And
so now what you're telling me is you're going to charge a cover charge for the dinner.
That is correct, yes.
And what about advertising?
That was the other problem I had with her mother, because we wanted to have some kind of just a phone number, so that when a guy is there with his service, for instance, the cakes by Kathleen. She does a tremendous job, Kathleen's Pastries, and we have the cake. I want to put a sign up with a phone number. And I guess that's tasteless. Is that right?
Yeah, Charlie, it's very...
Phil, $75,000...
No, but it's tasteless to put up a sign, Cakes by Kathleen. What about the guy's tuxedos?
The guy's tuxedos, we were going to put a banner sewed onto the sleeve.
Which said what?
Well-dressed man is what we're going through. And we wanted to put a banner on the cummerbund.
So the guys are walking around with a cummerbund tuxedo by well-dressed man. Is that it?
You know something? You can laugh if you want. That you're entitled to that.
Charlie, this isn't going to work, man. For $75,000, you're putting on a beautiful wedding, and
you ask a father to pay for your wedding, and then you ask him to not say what? To say, "May I have some money back?" I'm not allowed that. Am I allowed that?
What about the fact that you're putting on a nice wedding so your daughter can be happy? By the way, hold on for a minute, Charlie. We're talking to Charlie LaFountain, who's putting on a $75,000 wedding for his daughter Allison, but he is charging for the reception. I can't believe that you're asking the bridesmaids to do lap dances. Our number is 1-800-449-8686. And the maid of honor is being asked to have...
No, the maid of honor is not being asked. I am asking her, would she be willing
to have sex with men for a couple of $100 an hour.
Phil, she's not a married woman. She is single. I'm saying that the bridesmaids, the lap dancers, can keep 10% for themselves. So all I'm saying...
All right, I just want to get the bottom line here. So Charlie is telling me that that this is what he is planning on doing in terms of trying to recoup some of the money. Our number is 1-800-449-8686. Now, let me say this. You put on a wedding for a daughter, and...
Phil, don't lecture me, number one, on how...
I wanted to... You're putting on a wedding for a daughter who you love. You want her to be happy, so why not say, here's $75,000, darling, to your happiness and to Ray and...
$75,000, darling. You never went to college. You didn't get a job. You had problems in high school. We've paid for one abortion. We have had problems with substance abuse in her senior year in high school, and I'm supposed to put $75,000 out there for this. Now, she's marrying this guy, Ray. He seems to have a promising future. We're going to find out. I told him. He makes her unhappy. He does anything to displease me. There's going to be a very serious problem. Now, if she wants me to put $75,000 out for her wedding,
what does she think about the $75,000 for the wedding?
Oh, her mother's in favor of it. Everybody's in favor of it. You know, when you put $75,000 on the table, suddenly everybody's in favor of it. Okay, but the minute I say, is there a problem with your bridesmaids doing lap dances? Suddenly I get an argument. This is what bothers me.
I think you're dreaming.
I may be dreaming, Phil, but I didn't get to where I am today being a bad businessman, all right?
All right, Charlie, hold on, okay? And I'm...
And we've got a couple of favors to ask of the radio station, if you don't mind.
I don't know. I'm going to have to find favors of the radio station. Did he talk to you? 1-800-449-8686. Talking to Charlie LaFountain about his daughter's $75,000 wedding. I think he's doing some things here that are he's asking the bridesmaids and the maid of honor to do lap dances for $20. He is going to have advertising on the men's tuxedos, and he's charging cover for the dinner. 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. One 1-800-449-8686. That's the number to the Phil Hendrie Show. And we're talking to Charlie LaFountain. He's an ad executive. His daughter Allison's getting married on the 24th. And with a $75,000 wedding, what does that buy these days, Charlie? I mean, that is a lot of wedding, huh?
Phil, I'm happy to do it for Allison.
What are you getting exactly for that?
We've got the Florian Hotel, for starters.
That's a gorgeous hotel. So that's the entire staff and service?
Entire staff and service of the Florian Hotel, which includes, we've got rooms for the wedding party. We have all the limousine services paid for. We've got transportation to the airport for the kids. They're going to not going to Mexico. They're going to be going to Mexico. They're going to Mexico next winter. I know that. But for their honeymoon, they're going to Hawaii, which will be over to Kauai to Princeville. And we also pay for certainly all the food service and the wait service. So it's a tremendous thing. Now, you ask a man to send $75,000 toward his daughter, what do I get out of it? You see what I'm saying? What do I get?
So you're trying to make your money back by getting the bridesmaids to give lap dances. What about the groomsmen?
The groomsmen are going to be working in the kitchen. The groomsmen are going to be doing a lot of different things. Working in the kitchen, they'll be setting up the bandstand, they'll be parking the cars. A lot of the things that you get... I'm sorry?
You got hey, Melissa, he has the groomsmen parking the cars before the wedding. And why is that? Because those tuxedos they wear look a lot like valets?
Phil, I'm trying to do the right thing by my daughter.
I think that if I was the groomsman in that party and somebody asked me to park a car, I'd say no.
And you don't have to come into the wedding either, do you? You don't have to get into the church.
Just so I'm clear, if I'm a groomsman and you ask me to park cars before the wedding starts and I say no, I'm not a part of that wedding party.
I think that makes sense.
Man, and tell that guy to turn his car alarm off.
Yeah. Either get one to go out and turn off the car alarm.
1-800-449-8686. San Antonio on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, hello. Hi.
Yes.
I'll charge
my father
a valet
had a
parking
wedding
fee
for
for
me
guests.
that was more than $75,000, and all
Could I make a point? Could I make a point for just a second, Phil? I will charge a valet fee to park the guests, so the groomsmen do get some of that money and also tips.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Oh, thank you. My father had a wedding for me and my present husband, my first and only husband, and it was more than $75,000. And in return, all he asked of me was my love and gratitude.
Well,
Nothing
that's
more.
Your father, dear. That's your father.
Right, but what you're saying for your daughter is you might as well get prostitutes. I mean, you're asking for lap dance.
Did you get pregnant when you were senior year in high school? Did you have a drug problem your senior year in high school? Did you not go to college the way you promised that you would?
But did you not have the choice to give her less of a wedding? You didn't have to give her a $75,000 wedding.
You know why? Because she cried and she screamed like the...
But then you made those choices.
I made those choices. I made all these choices, including having the bridesmaids give lap dances.
But wouldn't you find that to be, if I was a bridesmaid, or a bride, I would be embarrassed to have my father say things like that.
I'm sorry. If you are a bridesmaid in a wedding, all right, and I don't know your name, dear. My name is Charlie. What is your name?
My name is Stacy.
Stacy. If I walked up to you and I said, Stacy, as part of being one of the bridesmaids in this wedding, I would like you to and I don't know what you look like, so maybe I shouldn't be asking this. What do you look like?
That's okay. Well, I'm a 32-year-old attractive
All right.
female.
Well, I probably wouldn't ask you. These are young girls, 21, 20 years of age, okay?
And that makes it even more despicable that you're an older gentleman asking these young women to lap dance for you.
When do these...
That was back then. If I was 21 and I was a bridesmaid when I was 23 for a girl in college, okay,
look,
I would have said... I love you to my best friend, but no, thank you. That is disgusting.
Well, wait a second. Disgusting? They're asking me to lay $75,000 on the table.
No, you offered. If you could have said, no, I'm going to pay $25. That's all I'm going to give you.
No, I want my daughter to be happy, okay?
But the point is you're not making her happy.
Listen to me. I want my daughter to be happy. But when I tell these bridesmaids to give lap dances, they're going to give lap dances. And when I tell the groomsmen to park some cars and start scrubbing out some pots back there, weddings are boring as hell. Any man attending a wedding would kill for a lap dance to help pass the time. I think it's brilliant. You people find fault with it. Whatever.
Okay. Thank you.
The only point of my call was to say that my father made me a beautiful wedding, and if you really loved your daughter, my feelings would be that all you would ask for her was her love and gratitude when you was complete. And I gave my dad a big hug and a big kiss.
All right, and if your
said,
father
thank you
asked
for the best day of my life.
All right, and if your father said to you, for old time's sake, how about a lap dance?
My father would never say that. It's despicable. And my father is a very, very wealthy businessman in the Boston area.
Very good.
And he's done very well for himself, but would never ask for me to return a penny because he knew that when he was raising me, that this is something he and my mother wanted to give to me and my husband. And you know what? We gave them back two lovely grandchildren.
Well, what do you... Oh, gee. You know, I'm going to tell the grandchildren thing. That might be a curse. But you're telling me that...
Well, you may think it's a curse, Charlie. This lady said that it's something that they gave to her parents, and they like it.
All right, but you're telling me you wouldn't give a lap dance even if for old time's sake, for the old man?
No!
What is this, giving a lap dance?
I have too much respect for myself to do that to anyone.
All right, thanks for your call.
I've got to go. I'm sorry.
Thank you very much.
Screaming,
Thank you. 1-800-449-8686. Here is Script Poway. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am. Hi.
Hi.
The Scripps Ranch, dear?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
I just want to talk to him to let him know that he's just crazy. What rights do you have to ask a primate?
Are you a Filipino, darling?
No, I'm not.
Where are you from, please?
Well, you don't need to know where I came from.
Well, I think
but it doesn't matter where you came from. You have morals.
That's true. That's very true. And all I'm saying to
you say you make a lot of money. It sounds like you make a lot of money.
I do
but
make.
You have no moral at all.
What about the maid of honor? What about the maid of honor if she chooses to have sex with the men at the wedding?
I mean, you bring yourself down to that level, then that means that you're nothing.
I know. You're Korean. Are you Korean? And the reason why I ask, darling, is I know that there's some traditions in some cultures.
Don't call me darling. I'm not your darling.
Let me ask the caller let me ask the caller to hang on, and Charlie, you hang on. I'll bring both of you back after the break, okay? 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. One 800-449-8686, the Phil Hendrie Show. And Charlie LaFountain at his office. His daughter Allison is getting married. $75,000 wedding Charlie is spending money on. A part of the $75,000, though, you're going to try to make back some of your money on.
Phil, I want it to be clear here. I'm not going to make back all of my money.
No, hold on, but I just want to let people know. I know that you're not going to make back $75,000, but you got bridesmaids doing lap dances. You've got the groomsmen parking cars and working in the kitchen. You also are going to charge a cover charge for dinner. And the preacher, you say, is a motivational preacher?
I got one of these motivational type preachers who he talks a lot of. He's always talking about feeling better about your life, you know, and that kind of thing. I want to allow all of the great service involved to put up with that so that we can charge a cover charge for that. And the other things we're talking about, I mean, this is not unusual. It's not new. When you have a reception, as I said, it's like going to a fine restaurant.
So then you've got a motivational type preacher?
Yeah, it's like a Tony Robbins kind of a guy. So he's going to get up there and make people feel great about themselves. And, you know, what do you want?
Well, I think what a lot of people are upset about, or at least questioning, is this idea that the maid of honor, if she so chooses, can have sex with men in the wedding party.
That's her business. What I'm asking for, though, is 10 to 20% of her take.
And the fact that you're not going to make back all $75,000.
I'm not looking to make back all $75,000. I'm looking to make a statement, and that is this: if my daughter expects me to kick out $75,000 for a wedding, that I am going to be able to conduct business the way I see fit, which is to make some of my money back. All right, and as far as I'm concerned, that is not an unusual thing to ask for.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Here is Abilene on the Phil Hendrie Show. Abilene, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Hi, good.
I have two comments for the gentleman. The first one is that I find it really disturbing and quite nauseating that he would air his dirty laundry, his daughter's dirty laundry.
I didn't want to, but I'm being asked questions as to why I do what I do.
Well, the fact of the matter is you are airing your daughter's dirty laundry, and as a father, I think that's rather disgusting.
Well, you know what? Then she shouldn't be telling me what to do with my money.
Well, that's fine.
Well, all right.
I'm entitled to my opinion. I'd appreciate if you wouldn't interrupt.
I'm not going to interrupt you, but I just want you to know I'm not doing it gratuitously is all.
Okay, that's fine. Again, you're entitled to your opinion, and as I am entitled to mine. The second point that I'd like to make is it seems clear to me, and I'm a father. I got 3 children.
Here we go.
Here
we go with you're a better father than me. Is that it?
Just let the guy finish. Let the guy finish what he's going to say.
It appears clear to me that you treat your relationship with your daughter as a business deal.
No, that's not true.
You said that just a few minutes ago. If I'm going to do this for my daughter, then I expect this out of her. That's a deal. When you do things for your children, you do it out of love.
Absolutely.
But I'm sitting here listening to you for the last 30, 40 minutes. I haven't heard one iota about love for your daughter. I hear about I want to get my money back. If I'm going to be responsible for plunking down $75,000, then I should get something in return. That is not the attitude of a loving father.
She's been living at home for the last 4 years when she should have moved out. What about that? We had to go down to school at least a half a dozen times her senior year in high school for drug abuse situations, substance abuse situations. They found stuff in her locker. And this Ray that she's marrying, this guy she shacked up with for the last 3 years, says he's in a record company. I don't know what to believe. So I said to her, look, here's what I'm going to do. 75 G's for your wedding if I get one or two things, and that is advertising banners on the men's cummerbunds. Yes, lap dances from the women. I don't see what's wrong with that. And the
problem is, can I make one point?
Go ahead, sir.
The problem is that you don't see anything wrong with that. That's the fundamental problem in this whole thing.
Right.
Is that you think that's okay.
What is wrong with it?
I don't believe, and I'm not here to try to change your mind because, frankly, that's not going to happen. But unfortunately,
well, you're damn right about that. I don't see what's wrong with what I'm...
Just let the man finish, because he's making a good point. Nobody's going to change your mind, Charlie. You're going to charge for lap dances from the bridesmaids? You got the groom...
What is wrong with it?
What's wrong with the groomsmen parking cars?
Yeah.
If you don't see the problem with that, then I'm telling you, we got bigger problems than the wedding.
Wait a second. If you're a groomsman in this wedding and I ask you to park some cars, what are you going to tell me, no?
Absolutely.
Oh, boy. And you're getting a free meal out of the deal.
Absolutely.
Well...
Because I'm not in it for you. I'm in it for The bride.
The people, the friends. Yeah. Thank you, sir, for your call. 1-800-449-8686. West Palm Beach on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
I would like to address something that the gentleman said. He said that the reason he's giving this $75,000 wedding is because his daughter stomped and stormed and cried and hollered.
Oh, she bellyached, yeah. You know, yeah, you got to give me a wedding. Yeah, you never loved me and all this crap. I never loved her.
Well, may I explain something to you?
We paid for 2 abortions. I paid for, I don't know, the methadone clinic.
Yes, I'm listening to this.
Okay. And Mr. Hendrie, you know that you are expected there as well.
No, I do not know that.
May I tell him what I called about?
Yeah, please do, ma'am.
But no, are you aware? No, hold on. Are you aware that you're supposed to be there, Hendrie?
No, I'm not aware of that.
Well, get aware of it. You're going to be there.
Get aware of what? Go ahead, ma'am. Say what you want to say. Then I have some questions, okay?
Okay. What I would like to say is
you're
telling me that all these problems that your daughter has created for you.
Yes, ma'am.
And yet you tell me that the reason you're giving her this exorbitant wedding is because she stomped and stormed and screamed?
Yeah, she bellyached like a lot of girls.
May I point out to you, sir,
scream all the time.
that had you not done this all her life, she would not be the girl she is today.
Look, she said she was going to go to college.
Given into her because she's stomping, storming, and screaming to
well,
something
I'm not
that
giving
isn't.
into her. I'm not giving into her. That's
well,
why
yes,
I'm
you
making...
told us
no.
that's what you were
no,
going
I'm not,
to do.
because that's why I'm
that's
asking for the bridesmaids to do lap dances.
Well, then you should have said no. Like
I'm not
you should have
saying
said many times in her youth.
I'm not saying no. What I'm saying is, yes, I'll give you the wedding.
Her, no, I'm
but
not doing this.
The bridesmaids do lap dances, and the maid of honor, if she chooses to have sex with the men in the wedding party. That's all I'm saying.
What
the real
you're
reason
saying
I'm spending
is,
75 G's is because I got clients to impress, and there's going to be a lot of them.
That you're bitter because this child turned out the way she did.
Look, what's wrong with asking the maid of honor to have sex with the men in the wedding party?
You want to give her into her again and then blame it on her and
what's wrong with having the bridesmaids do lap dances?
Well, I'll tell you what. If she has that kind of friends that would do that, you've still done a very bad job in giving in to her.
And so the maid of honor shouldn't have sex with the men in the wedding party? Is that what you're trying?
Of course not.
You're trying to tell me that?
I'm telling you that if
I think that
she gives into this kind of a wedding...
What about you being there, Hendrie?
I'm not going to be there, okay?
Yes, you are. Yes, you are going to be there.
How is it all of a sudden I'm getting roped into being in this wedding party?
Because I promised a celebrity, and you're it. Now,
you know that on the 24th,
I'm getting out of this, gentlemen.
24th, I'm going to be at the crippled kid thing.
This father has to blame himself only for his daughter.
Did you say something, ma'am?
Yes, I said I'm getting out of the middle of this conversation. Are you going to be there at the thing, Phil, or not?
I didn't hear what you said. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm telling you that I don't want to be in the middle of your conversation.
Phil, I don't want to be. You're going to have to be there. This lady keeps trying to say something. I can't hear her. What?
All right, I will tell you what I started to say before, and then I'm going to get off the phone.
What did you say?
That you
Phil, I tell you right now, you have to be at that wedding party, okay? And I am so sick and tired of you not telling me you're going to be... I'm sorry, dear, what?
You're not listening to me.
I'm trying to listen to you, but there's someone talking.
Yeah, you're talking.
What did you say, dear?
I said...
Yes.
That the daughter that
Henry,
you're complaining
about... you're going to be at that wedding party, I'll tell you right now, if you don't.
Will you let the lady say what it is she's trying to say?
I'm listening to you. Go ahead.
She hung up.
No, I didn't hang up. I'm waiting for you to interrupt me again.
What I would like you to do, Phil, is...
She didn't hang up. She's there.
I thought she said she hung up.
How could she say she hung up?
Didn't you say you hung up, ma'am?
I said I would get out of
the... $75, you can get a tape of my daughter's wedding night. I want everybody to know that. What?
This was a waste of my time.
Go ahead. What is it you were saying?
You won't listen to it.
I'm listening to everything you're saying. You won't say it.
I've said it over and over.
No, you haven't. I didn't hear it.
Over you?
Go ahead.
I'm not going to. Goodbye.
Say it. Come on. Come on. Say it, and then we'll be done with it.
The daughter you've got is your own fault.
I can't hear anything you're saying.
Goodbye.
Bye.
1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie here, 1-800-449-8686. So Bud Dickman has joined us, and we are going to be talking about what, Bud? We have an exclusive. Now, I don't know what or how you got a hold of this.
Well, Ricky Martin, the brand new CD, a world exclusive on a Phil Hendrie Show.
This is Ricky Martin's new CD.
Right.
Where did you get it?
Well, can't say for sure, but Napstar is a website where you can download stuff on an MP3. And so far, nobody have it but me.
So we have Ricky Martin. You got this off Napstar. Do you know this one, Craig? You can go there and get all this crap off of it. And a lot of the artists, I got to tell you, I'm not sure where I fall on this one. I think that, well, what am I saying? I'm not sure where I fall on this one. I know where I fall. Into bed every night. No, I think it sucks. I think stealing...
No, you can't say it's steal. You can't say that.
Yes, I can say that, and I just did. Man.
That was a bad joke about where you fall.
Okay, so anyway, I think that when an artist creates something and sells it, or an artist decides to give something away, when they make the decision as to how their material will be controlled, then I think that you're doing something, that's right, that's moral, and that's within the rights of a society.
Mm-hmm.
Are you listening to what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm listening.
However, when it becomes something that is beyond the control of the artist, when they become people who are having their material stolen, that's put on the web without their knowledge, that's bootlegged without their knowledge.
But Metallica, when they do the show, they say, if you want to record us, you go ahead.
That's what I'm saying. Metallica makes the decision to allow people to come into their concerts and to record their crap, okay? This is not the case with the MP3 downloading there at Napstar. That is a situation where the artist has no control. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
Talking to you, man, is like talking to a guy with a tin cup on a corner.
No, I understand.
And so, did you get this from Napstar?
I got from a friend at the record company.
So you didn't get a Napster?
No, I didn't. But I know that after we play it on the show, it's going to be on there, and it'll probably people download it.
Well, hold on for a minute, because I want to find what happened to.
What are you doing?
I was just looking for some other notes here. All right, so this is the new Ricky Martin CD, and I would like everybody to know that this... I'm having a problem with this, okay, bud?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you're not feeling right about it?
No, I'm not feeling right about it, because I think that Mr. Martin should be in control of his own material. And that, I don't know, maybe we ought to take a poll. Mike, why don't you ask the people, do they want me to play a cut from the new Ricky Martin CD? See if they're calling in right now at 1-800-449-8686. Schaefer just gave me a grin. It was either gay or it was, oh, that's a good idea. I'm not sure what that smile represented. It was almost, it was either I love you or that's a good idea, Phil. But if you want to take the calls from people, we'll decide whether we should play a cut from the new Ricky Martin CD.
But you're giving up opportunity to be worldwide.
If I want to be worldwide, man, I'll let the audience decide. How about that? 1-800-449-8686. Let me see that. Now, this is just obviously a white jewel case.
Right, they haven't done the artwork yet on it. But Ricky Martin is pretty big. A lot of people in there, and they want to hear the music.
Well, I'm not really that into the cat's music, but I know that women dig him. A lot of people like him. People say, go ahead and play it. All right. You ready to go?
All right, everybody. I'm Bud Dickman on the Phil Hendrie Show. There's a world exclusive, the music of the Ricky Martin's brand new CD. Get your tape recorders ready to tape it.
All right, well, I don't know if I want to encourage bootleg.
No, you tape it.
All right, a worldwide exclusive on the Phil Hendrie Show. This is a track from the new Ricky Martin CD. Hands off of me and get out of here with that Ricky Martin. Or,
Steve, you think it is?
Desi Arnaz.
Come on, I want to...
Get off of me! Quit it!
You don't even want to dance with me. Come on.
Get away!
Let me just put my hand on the small of your back like that.
Get off of me and quit grinding your junk into me, too. Get your hands off of me, Dickman!
Boy, man, you're real touchy, aren't you? I guess you don't like to have a fun time and be with people and everything and to have a dance and... Ow!
Take your CD and bug off, okay?
All right. But if the guy calls again?
Yeah, go on down there and get the new Rolling Stones album or whatever it is that he's pawning off this week. And no, I don't want to get close and rumba. I saw your little handwritten note that you passed to Taylor. I don't feel like getting close and rumbling. Here, get out of here with the Desi Arnaz.
Desi Arnaz, huh?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Desi Arnaz, man.
What was your tip-off?
Cuban Pete and the chick that sounded like she was singing on a 1941 RCA ribbon mic. That was my tip-off. Cuban Pete and Chicka Boom.
All right. Well, no pain, no gain.
Yeah, it's true. Just keep calling up our office here, folks, and tell Bud that you have the brand new album from Led Zeppelin featuring John Bonham's new solo. And he'll run right down there and get it from you. Phil Hendrie Show here, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686. Best of the Phil Hendrie Show CD is available online at philhendrieshow.com. And we're gradually working on our website. We're going to get that baby, up to a fairly decent running speed in no time at all. Look for Margaret Gray's A Little Bird Told Me column. Will be appearing infrequently, but frequently enough on our website, philhendrieshow.com. You can also purchase the Best of the Phil Hendrie Show CD for $19.99. Communism is Neat. Also, Chilling Day for Talk Radio, our 98 CD, and Still on the Air, our 97 CD, may or may not be available on the site, depending upon its availability, I guess is, the way to put it. We've raised about $95,000 so far for My Friend's Place, a resource center for homeless and runaway youth in Hollywood. And that's about, a little bit over halfway to our goal of 170 Gs, which is what we raised last year. So we'd certainly like to break that record. We've been selling these babies for the last couple of months. Maybe we'll have another radiothon. Maybe we'll do another signing. Who knows which way the wind's blowing. But until that time, if you got a computer, you can order our CD. It's $23.50, $3.50 shipping and handling, $20 for the CD. And if there's somebody who who doesn't have a computer but would like to get a hold of it, they maybe can log on, if you'll pardon the expression, to yours. Doesn't the term log on sound like something else? Or is it just me? I read this magazine called Viz. It's a hysterical magazine published in Britain, and there's a section in there, the future of the world is a world in which you are not allowed to go to the bathroom. You can't take a dump. That's the future of the world. And everybody is subject to what is called the bottom inspector. So it's this weird thing. This is British humor. Anyway, in one scene, this guy decides to defy the government, and he goes into an outhouse and, pinches one. And so all of his friends are wagging their fingers at him and going, "You bastard, we've had to hold it in all of our lives, and you went ahead and logged out." Okay, so it's juvenile, it's male. Hey, it's fun. It's the Phil Hendrie Show. 1-800-449-8686. Did you get that fax? I saw the fax, Mike, and apparently this is in Corona. It involves the LA County Public Library System. A gentleman who is threatening a lawsuit, not only against the LA Public Library System, but also against author Robert James Waller, who wrote Bridges of Madison County. And he is also threatening other lawsuits. We'll bring him on the line from Corona, California. He is a construction contractor. His name is Stephen Bozell. Good evening, Mr. Bozell.
Good evening, sir.
This is a far-reaching, you're threatening a federal lawsuit?
I am. Through my attorney, I have threatened a federal lawsuit, yes, sir.
Why?
Well, I believe that I was subject to undue harassment and ridicule. I also believe that I am entitled to a forum, and that forum, I believe, should be held at the Los Angeles Public Library branch in Corona, California, where I can state my case to anyone who was witness to the events of January 16th, 2000.
At the L.A. Public Library branch in Corona?
Yes, sir. At the L.A. Public Library branch in Corona, the librarian there, who I'm told, a young man who I'm told I cannot mention his name, but he was the one who was checking the books out that day, and also checking in books, made a statement that I think I need to be allowed at least to counteract.
All right, the facts that we got said that you were subjected to some form of undue harassment by this kid working behind the counter, and that you want a forum to...
I want a forum to state my case, and I want the ability to be able to confront those individuals who I think might have been unduly influenced by him.
You were checking out books. This was January 16th, 2000.
Last month, yes.
Okay. You were checking out books?
I was returning an overdue book. I had been there the preceding summer with my wife and with my children, and we had checked out books. My wife threw in a book on my card. So as we were checking the books out, one of the books we were checking out belonged to my wife, and I checked it out on my card.
And that book was Bridges of Madison County?
Yes, sir. That was Bridges of Madison County. The book stayed around in our home. My wife had read the book, but it had not been returned to the library. In January, we had seen these books, decided these books had to go back to the library. The book was some 6 months overdue, so I knew that there was going to be a very substantial fine or penalty. I walked up to the counter at the Los Angeles County Public Library. Now, you have to keep in mind that I understood it to a certain point what I was in for, because this was not my book, this was my wife's book. And,
well, what did you think you were in for?
Well, I knew that there would be a certain level of ridicule because I was a man who seemingly had checked out Bridges of Madison County, but I had not checked it out. When I got the book back up there, the guy opened the book up in the library, and he said, and he saw the date, he saw that it was overdue. He said, why would anybody keep the Bridges of Madison County checked out for 6 months? Perhaps, and I wrote this down because my attorney asked me to write down everything that I recollected. All
right, the first thing he said was, why would anyone
keep the Bridges of Madison County checked out for 6 months? And then he said, perhaps you'd like to check out our gay studies section, sir. And I said, now, you don't understand. This is my wife's book. And he said, oh, your wife's name is, and he looked at the card, so your wife's name is Steve Bozell, is that it? I said, you don't understand. My wife threw this in a stack of books. It's not me. It's not me. I said, no, it's my wife. He said, oh, well, it's your wife, of course. And your wife's name is Steve, huh? Sure. So he's talking like he don't believe me. He's talking like I'm a liar. He's talking like I'm a bald-faced liar. And all I was trying to do was have him hear me, and he wouldn't hear me out.
Now, you wrote down that what the guy said was, why would anyone keep the Bridges of Madison County checked out for 6 months? Perhaps you'd like to check out our gay studies section, sir.
Yes, sir. And that is obviously an insult to me. I tried to tell him it's not my book, it's my wife's book. He said, and he made, my attorney asked me, how did he say it? My attorney said to me, Steve, it's very important. It's very important that you say it the way the man said it in deposition. How did he say it? And I said, he looked at me and he went, oh, sure, it was your wife's book. And I said, you know, you got to understand and you got to hear me. It's not my book. Now,
this has prompted you to call for an open forum where you can state your case?
I am asking anybody who was at the Corona Public Library on January 16th of last month who might have witnessed this event, I want you to know, number one, that was my wife's book. It wasn't mine. I'm not gay. And I further want a public forum at that library so that I can assure anybody who is at the library that if somebody comes in the library, for instance, and I see, well, were you there that day that man made fun of me and said that I might want to check out the gay study section? I'm not gay. And anybody, so I want to build the ability.
Okay, so you in other words, you want a forum to let everybody know that even though you checked out.
I did not check it out.
Okay, well, even though that you're.
See, this is the problem, Mr. Henry. Everybody thinks I checked out Bridges of Madison County. I did not.
All right, so you want everyone to know that, first of all, it was your wife's book, not yours, and you're not gay.
That's what the guy said to me. He said, why would anybody keep Bridges of Madison County checked out for 6 weeks? Perhaps you'd like to check out our gay studies section, sir.
Well, that is patently offensive, and that is something that I would never say.
I'm not saying that he shouldn't have said it, because in a different situation, I would assume, or I might make the same assumption. But I said, you got to understand something. And
so, in other words, you think that because a man keeps Bridges of Madison County checked out for 6 months, he's gay?
I'm saying the guy might have had a point. I don't know whether he had a point or not. I was trying to assure him that I wasn't, and he wouldn't hear me out. He wouldn't listen to what I had to say. And there's nothing worse in this world if you're trying to make a point and somebody won't listen to you. And I said, I'm not gay. And he said, oh, and I wrote it down. He said, oh, sure you're not. Just like that.
Who is your attorney?
My attorney, Mr. Robert Smithson of San Bernardino.
Okay, hold the line here, Steve. 1-800-449-8686. And that is Mr. Stephen Bozell of Corona, California. He was taking back an overdue library book that was checked out really by his wife, even though it was checked out on his card. As he took the library book back, he claims that the person who took the book back said, why would anyone keep, did you write this down? Why would anyone keep the Bridges of Madison County checked out for 6 months? Perhaps you'd like to check out our gay studies section, sir. Mr. Bozell is on our show tonight, A, because he wants to, and I'm quoting now, assure people that he's not gay, and B, he is demanding a public forum at the library where he can tell anybody who might have been in the library that day that he's not gay, and he is demanding this, or he'll sue. 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686, Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie here, 1-800-449-8686. We get on Mr. Stephen Bozell, who was in a public library out in East L.A. County, and his wife and kids checked out books on his card. One of the books that his wife checked out was Bridges of Madison County. It was 6 months overdue. He took it back to the library, at which point the guy checking the books back in said, why would anyone keep the Bridges of Madison County checked out for 6 months? Would you like to see our gay studies section, sir? And you're claiming that that is exactly what was said, correct?
Yes, sir. I'm claiming that is what was said. I also would like to ask a question, if I could.
Yes.
The music that you just played, would you play that one more time, please? Because I have...
What music?
The
bumper music?
I don't know what you... There was some music that you had just played.
The music we just played now was our bumper music. You want to hear that again?
I do need to hear that again for just a couple of questions that I had.
All right. If you have it, Craig.
Okay. Where is that music from, sir?
Where is it from? It's from a CD that we...
No, please tell me what the source material is, that music you're playing right now.
What is that from, Craig? Do you know? It's from a movie called Sexorama.
There, okay, right there. That's what I'm talking about. That is the kind of mockery, I guess, that I think some people think they're being cute. And I can tell that you're still playing it.
All right, kill the music. We're not playing it to mock you, sir. I didn't know.
That is music from a pornographic film. And that's exactly...
No, sir, that's just a goofy thing that we found and we play that. It has nothing to do with your appearance on my show, and it has nothing whatsoever...
Mr. Hendrie, I'm familiar with the way the media works and the way that people can be set up. I do believe that I have a legitimate claim. I do not believe that people should be allowed to be spoken to that way. And because I had Bridges of Madison County checked out, my wife had Bridges of Madison County checked out. I did not. And
I believe you that it was checked out on your card.
But that music that you're playing is what is called subliminal. That music was subliminal.
That music is not subliminal. Subliminal is something that you cannot consciously hear or recognize, okay?
No, but it has a subliminal effect. And that is what we're talking about here.
Well, what we're talking about is that the guy unfortunately said to you, would you want to see the gay studies section?
That book is not my book.
And I know that. I believe you that it wasn't your book. I believe you. I can make the statement tonight that this man on the air, I believe you, Stephen Bozell, did not check out Bridges of Madison County. His wife did.
But there are also people who were at the library that night. And those are the people that I need to address, and those are the people that I think could have been hurt by this more so than anybody else.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Texarkana on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hey, well, first of all, I want to give the guy a little bit of credit for not trying to sue and just going to a quorum. I mean, I can understand him trying to get his point.
Well, I will tell you, though, that if I'm not allowed to forum, that I do believe that I want to utilize the recourse of lawsuit.
Well, let me, first of all,
because I don't know if you or anybody you know would let yourself be talked to that way.
Well, first of all, I do get talked to that way. I'm a nurse myself, and that comes up kind of a career that might look like, you know, the gay type of section. And I've had the remarks made to me about patients and stuff before. And what I don't understand.
Are you gay?
I shake that off.
Are you gay, sir? Are you the guy in Texarkana? You gay?
No. But no way.
Did this guy tell you he was gay? Well, why does it say so on the screen?
Oh, what now?
Go ahead. Nothing. I'm talking to my dumb producer. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Mike, you're doing it.
Totally straight.
I have to tell you something, that my producer thought you were gay.
No.
Well, that's the kind of mistake, I think. But you see, the gentleman, but wait a second. You don't want anybody to perceive you of being gay.
He just perceived me as gay on national radio.
I understand,
I'm not going to call the Phil Hendrie Show tomorrow night.
But you've been allowed to say
a forum to say that I'm not gay and apologize.
No, sir.
I'm not, and I don't care.
I understand that, sir. But what I'm saying is, you have been allowed to say that. See, right when it happened, you were allowed to say it. But what did not happen for me was, the guy assumed because I had the Bridges. This guy thought Bridges of Madison County belonged to me.
Have you ever heard sticks and stones to break my bones and words that never hurt me? Then go on with your life.
That's a bunch of what kids do. I'm talking about the world of adults.
No, it's not kids. You learn everything you need to learn in kindergarten. Either you got two problems. Either one, you're gay and you won't fess up to it.
No, sir.
Two,
no, sir. No, sir. No,
life.
sir. No, sir, I am not.
Either you cannot accept the challenges of life, or you're gay.
What do you mean the challenge of life?
Well, somebody calls you gay. If I call you ugly, what are you going to do? Call up a big forum for everybody to say, I'm not ugly, look at me, I'm beautiful. Who cares?
Well, sir,
first of all, why is the book out 6 months? Does it have pictures in it?
It's a book that got lost.
You can only read the story once.
My wife was reading the book, number one.
His wife wanted the book. It was checked out on his card. I believe the man when he says that you weren't reading Bridges of Madison County, Mr. Bozell, although I don't think it's a great disgrace.
Well, you don't read Penthouse either. You just look at the pictures. That's what I'm asking him. Is there pictures in the book?
Bridges of Madison County. No, it's a novel written by Robert James Waller that my wife wanted to read.
So you feel totally innocent.
I did not read that book.
Oh, then what's the problem? He thought
because
you were
the guy at the library.
You said earlier that you would have made the same assumption that if somebody would have
right.
that.
I don't want anybody thinking I read that.
You said yourself you backed up and you backpedaled, but you yourself earlier said that you would have made the same assumption of a man had that book checked out for 6 months.
Well, I'll ask you a question.
That I'm a nurse and I'm gay. I don't care. I'm not gay. Go on with it.
I don't want anybody thinking that I read that book, okay? Because I don't.
What's wrong?
I don't think you read the book. You made your point. Go into your life.
Well, there are a whole lot of other people that.
Then you're gay. Then you're gay. Argue you're gay.
Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686, 1-800-449-8686. I want to get on the line here with gentleman Steve Bozell from Corona, California. You are talking about, you're threatening a lawsuit against the author of Bridges of Madison County and the LA Public Library System. And you have also talked about some legal action against your wife, April Bozell, because it was her book, not yours, correct?
That is correct, because that, Mr. Hendrie, is the only way that I can ensure that I am going to, I think, get a fair hearing on this. I am not necessarily saying that what the man said was wrong. I was trying to assure him, though, that I was not gay.
Now, this was a librarian who made the comment, and I think it sounds to me like it might have been made in jest. He said, why would anyone check out Bridges of Madison County for 6 months? Perhaps you'd like to see our gay studies section, sir.
obviously making the assumption that I checked out Bridges of Madison County.
But also making the assumption that anybody that would read Bridges of Madison County and he was a man is gay. And you agree with that?
What I'm saying is, you know...
You agree with that? That any man that reads Bridges of Madison County is gay?
I'm saying the man's entitled to his opinion. It's not far-fetched. It's not that far-fetched. No.
And you just want to let everybody know that you didn't check out Bridges of Madison County, wasn't your book.
And I'd like the forum to say it. I want to be able to say it at the public library. I'm saying it now on your radio show, and I want the opportunity. Otherwise, yes, sir, I will file a federal lawsuit in the Municipal Court of Los Angeles, California, that I hope will be heard by the Supreme Court of the United States.
Okay, and you're threatening to sue all these parties. Here is Jacksonville on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Hi.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that personally he should stop whining about what anybody else thinks about him. If he's married and he has kids, apparently he should be a little bit more secure and not caring what anybody else thinks, whether he's gay or not.
Why would that guy say that to me? It wasn't my book. It was my wife's book.
Why should you care what he says to you?
Because there are a lot of people there who heard it, you know, snickering and laughing and whatnot. Because they were.
I mean, if you're married and you have kids and everything, apparently you're not gay.
Well, if people thought you was gay, would it matter to you? Yeah.
People will assume I have tattoos on my arms, and because I'm a girl, people will assume all the time that I'm a lesbian. It doesn't bother me. I just blow off their opinion. It doesn't matter.
How come you got tats? Have you been in jail or something?
No.
How come
Never been in any trouble before in my life.
That's the whole deal about a girl that has tattoos. There's something right away. I'm going to start thinking, you know, lesbian.
Well, I really don't care what you think.
Well,
I really think though that you should stop whining about things. And if you're going to put a lawsuit against your wife, she should get a divorce from you.
Well, see, get a divorce.
Yeah, if you're going to try to sue her because she used your library card. I mean, if you're married,
no, I want to sue her. I want to sue her because she checked out Bridges of Madison County. It's her book, and she made me take it back, and now the guy thinks that I should be in the gay studies section. I want to put up a picture of my family to prove, Mr. Hendrie, you agreed that you'd do that?
Yes. If I don't know if it's on our website yet, but we were going to put a picture of you and your family up on our website, philhendrieshow.com, to prove you have a wife and kids.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much.
After you go through that lawsuit, you might not have one for too much longer.
Why? Why would my wife leave me?
Why would you sue her over a book, over somebody's opinion that doesn't mean nothing?
Why do you have tattoos? How come you're a girl with tattoos? Anybody look at you might say that you're all lesbianic or whatever it is that you people call yourselves. Huh?
I have a beautiful little boy, and I'm happily married. I could care less what anybody else says or thinks.
What kind of motorcycle does your husband own?
He doesn't own a motorcycle.
You got tattoos, and you don't even have the common decency to have a motorcycle? God damn.
At least I'm not accused of being gay.
I just said that you sound like, yeah, now she hangs up, all lesbian and everything.
Well, what makes you think she's got a motorcycle? She's got tats? Okay, look, she was in Jacksonville, Florida. You know, they run a little rough in that part of the world. What are you going to do, huh?
Well, she said that I wasn't gay. No, she said she wasn't gay.
Forget about it, okay? I mean, the lady has got a little bit of self-possession. It's not bothering her. Now, you're threatening a federal lawsuit in the L.A. Municipal Court that you hope goes to the Supreme Court. Is that what you just said to me?
Mr. Hendrie, don't talk down to me, okay?
No, I'm not talking down to you. You just said you're filing a federal lawsuit in a municipal court.
I said that I am filing a lawsuit that if I do not get a forum where everybody knows I'm not gay because of the Bridges of Madison County, and I feel that it is a very valid claim. I went with my family 2 years ago to Sears, the Portrait Studio, and I have that picture up. And I want people...
Look, I believe that you're straight. I'm sure most of our audience believes that you're straight. Bridges of Madison County, regardless of what you may think, reading Bridges of Madison County does not necessarily mean people will think you're gay.
Mister, I don't know who your friends are, but...
Well, my friends, I guess, are people that aren't going to assume that. Maybe you have friends that assume differently, but I think we're going a long way tonight toward dispelling any concept, any possible idea that you're gay. What you may be doing is hurting your own case by complaining a little bit too much about it. West Palm Beach on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yeah, this is Frank from West Palm Beach.
Yes, sir.
He's complaining an awful lot. I think the guy may be gay. He's very sensitive about it there.
Yeah, well, maybe you're gay.
Oh, I mean, you read a book for 6 months. Now you think the world thinks you're gay, and you're taking it all.
I didn't read the book. I didn't read the book.
You didn't read the book.
Apparently, you don't listen too good.
Yeah, your wife took it out. You had it for 6 months. You happen to be the guy returning it.
Right.
The guy makes a passing comment, and now you're upset. You want to floor him? Come on.
I want people to know. What do you mean? What would you do if a guy standing out on the street someplace said, "Look at that guy there. He might be gay."
What do you think? The world is walking around thinking you're gay? What?
Because of the fact of what the guy said. He said it publicly. Okay?
He said it publicly?
Yes, sir.
He said it passing comment. What was there, one person behind you in line?
There was a few people in the library.
Though the guy's making a good point. How many people could have possibly have heard it?
I just want to make sure that whoever was there knows that I'm not. That's all I'm saying.
Were you wearing a pink shirt and a yellow hat or something? I mean, what is your problem?
I got no problem.
Obviously you do. You want a form, you want this, you want that. Everybody thinks you're gay all of a sudden because you returned a book. One guy made a passing comment, and you can't stop crying. For a guy who's straight, married, with kids, is awful concerned with one teller had to say.
You know something? Are you married?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you want your people thinking you're gay?
My people would never assume I'm gay. People that know me, know me.
I think it's pretty cruel.
Pretty cruel? You're a pretty sensitive fellow, aren't you? You're pretty sensitive, my friend.
Now you guys want to laugh at me.
Oh, laughing at you. We're laughing at the situation.
I might have to buy a billboard on the side of the 91 freeway that says I'm not gay and the library's going to pay for it. Okay?
Who are you trying to convince? You know what bothers me? Who are you trying to convince you're not gay? The rest of the world or yourself?
Now, there you go again.
No, I'm just making a comment.
I know, but you're going down that whole latency thing that people say about.
You're taking it there. Nobody's going there. You're running everything there.
How come you'd say that?
How come I'd say that? Because you're on the phone tonight, confessing to the world. Look, this guy made a comment. I'm not gay. I'm not gay. Do you get this often?
Everybody thinks I'm gay because
nobody thinks you're gay. All right.
You think you're gay.
Guy just did.
I don't think you're
nobody
gay.
thinks you're gay. You're making a big thing out of it. You checked out your wife, not you. Your wife checked out Bridges of Madison County on your card. So the guy at the library made a crack. Frankly, I think it's an intemperate crack. He shouldn't have made it. He's in a public library, and he doesn't know who he's talking to. But he did make a crack. He probably should have been talked to by his superiors, and let it go with that.
Did he confront the guy when the guy made the comment?
What did you say to the guy?
What did I say?
Yeah.
What do you think what would you do? I had to get out of there. I felt it was very emotional.
Why not ask the guy, hey, what did you mean by that? I mean, why not?
No, as soon as I heard it, I felt myself breaking down.
Breaking down?
I started to cry. Yes, sir.
You got to be kidding me. This would be the least of your worries. You need to go someplace and talk to somebody. I mean, you got other problems besides this, my friend. You start crying over comments a guy that makes $6 an hour makes. There's a problem there.
What if I get hit on by one of these gay people? Then what am I going to do?
If it don't apply, let it fly.
You got it. Thank you for your call, sir.
Take care.
1-800-449-86.
Well, what the hell is that? If it don't apply, let it fly. Is that some kind of New York deal? Is that...
The guy's making a good point. Louisville on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello. Louisville, hello.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. You're on the air.
To start with, I would like to give my wife my sympathies.
You giving me...
His wife my sympathies, because I feel sorry for somebody that lives with something like that.
This is some kind of Johnny Cochran kind of a deal that you people are running on me now.
No, it's not. You are so wrapped up, and something's wrong with you. Instead of going to court and spending that money, go to a psychiatrist. Find out what is wrong with you. What, was there 5 people in the library? Now you're telling the whole world? You either want to come out with it.
Hold on for a minute. Mr. Bozell?
What?
Are you crying?
Get you another handkerchief.
Oh, look at that. She's making fun of me.
No, I'm not making fun of you. You got a problem. Instead of going to court and spending money, take that money to a psychiatrist and lay on his couch. And maybe he can straighten you up.
So you think I'm mentally ill?
Yes, I do. Very.
I mean, it's really
Very
easy for
disturbed.
you.
What's your wife think?
My wife shouldn't have given me that book.
How do we know she even got it?
You know, one of the people in line that
You're
day...
You're making an awful big deal out of something.
No, ma'am,
that's
no,
not
ma'am.
nothing.
Let me
Yes,
tell you,
are.
if I'm making a big deal out of it, then you explain this. One of the people that was in line behind me that day...
How many times are you going to run into that person?
Hold on for a minute.
Do you want to take a moment?
I just need to... One of the people that was in line behind me that day looked gay. I could swear to God he's gay.
See, there you go. You're making your own opinion.
And he's following me. Oh,
did he make a pass at you?
Huh?
Are you cute? Did he make a pass at you?
I know that I've seen him a few times.
Well,
wait a second.
How many times are you going to run into those people in the library?
How come this gay guy's following me?
Wait a minute. What do you mean?
Gay?
How do you?
You're assuming something. How do you know he's gay? You're on here telling the United States you're not gay.
I want the whole United States to know that.
How did you know that guy?
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah.
How did you know that guy was gay? That was following you.
Who's doing that?
You must be able to pick them out pretty good.
Who did that?
Not to be gay.
All right, Phil. I'm.
Who's pushing the buttons?
I don't know.
I'm not pushing a button.
Yes, you did, ma'am.
I did not.
God damn it! Yes, you did.
Watch your language.
I'm a lady,
watch your
I don't
language.
like that kind of language.
Absolutely, watch your language.
But she got to do it, and I don't get to.
What did I say? I said
you pushed the button, and then you said that you did it.
How did you know that guy behind you was gay?
I saw him in the store, and he was buying white wine, all of it.
White wine? What's wrong with white wine? I like red wine.
Oh,
and
come on.
Gay.
Any man that buys white wine is fag as the day is long, and you know
there's a different color wine you drink with different meats and different.
Oh,
maybe he was
yeah.
buying it for his wife.
Yeah, maybe he
Did
was
you
buying
go up
it for.
and say, why don't you buy 6 bottles so you can have a bottle for the rest of the week?
Women who
Why don't you take that money that you're going to take to top of the courts
he bought
and
tofu.
go lay on some couch in a psychiatrist's office?
Ma'am.
Because that's what you need. And if
This
your
guy-
wife was smart, she would hit the door.
Hey, this guy bought white wine for a different kind of meat. Yeah. And you know what I'm talking about.
No, I really don't.
Oh, God, I'm sorry.
I guess maybe because I'm not gay.
White wine and tofu, what's that equal to you?
How do you know so much about what gay people like?
Because I seen a documentary one time on TV about
You must have been interested, because if I see something like that, you are so offensive when that is mentioned. Why didn't you get up and turn that TV off?
Are you
Why are you so interested in it for?
Are you anti-gay?
No,
you can't
I'm
be
not.
That way in
I am
America.
married, and I have got 3 children, and I've got 7 grandchildren.
You said that you like red wine. Women who
I like any kind of wine if it tastes good.
All I'm saying is, if you buy a bottle of red wine,
I like Pepsi. I like RC.
And you
I like Coke.
And somebody
I like 7-Up. That's white.
I don't ever let a woman talk to me like this. Do you drink beer?
If I do, does that make me gay?
A lot of dykes drink beer. Oh, she's laughing at me again.
Kill them all.
You laughing at me again?
Do what?
You laughing at me again?
No, I'm just at the comments you made.
Okay, I have to jump in.
Oh, this woman's going to apologize to me before she hangs up. No,
I have nothing to apologize for.
No, you are not. You're going to apologize.
I have to take.
How are you going to make me apologize?
I demand that you apologize.
Well, I'm sorry you're not getting it.
I'm going to apologize.
Go get another handkerchief. You've got that one wet.
Okay, I'm going to hang up on this guy.
I'll sue you.
He'll sue you.
I'll sue you.
You'll sue who?
You.
You don't know who I am.
What's your name?
Oh.
Oh, come on.
Come on out of the closet and smile.
So I'm gay.
Out of that closet and admit it.
So I'm gay.
Get out of the closet.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hendrie.
Take your white panties off.
Well, he just hung up. So.
Good. He needed to.
All right, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. God, what a flake case. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show. Don't forget our website, philhendrieshow.com. It's there that you can find the latest adventures of Harvey Wireman, his legal advice. You'll also see excerpts from Margaret Gray's A Little Bird Told Me column, Bobby Dooley's Western Estates Homeowners Association newsletter will also be appearing there. There'll be some interesting tidbits from Mavis Leonard and others. You can also pick up a copy of the Best of Phil Hendrie Show CD, ordering it online at philhendrieshow.com, $23.50. That's $3.50 shipping and handling. And what is it? $20 for the CD is what it is the thing.
I couldn't even get in a car, and I had to sleep sitting up on a love seat with my legs hanging down. And 2 nights in a row since I used this, I was able to get in bed, and last night I slept straight through the night. It works wonders.
Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. There's a gentleman on the line from Hermosa Beach who has a website devoted to speaking to women in their 20s about what seems to be, in his opinion, a propensity for younger women to be dating and marrying older men. His name is Chris Norton. He's on the line with us from Hermosa Beach, California this evening. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening, Miss Harry.
Now, you have a website where you feature photographs and commentary concerning what? Concerning young women with older guys?
I think we have to go back to the beginning of the website when these stories came out about James Doohan, the actor, Tony Randall, who an actor, Anthony Quinn, Larry King, who I've heard you talking a little bit about on your show, Phil. These are all old men who have young wives, some nice-looking young babes, and I think there are a lot of women my age who are having sex with these guys that are pretty old, and I think it's pretty nasty.
You think it's pretty nasty?
I think it is. Yeah, I mean that's super nasty. All I think, and I'm telling the women, why would you be so desperate for men that you'd have sex with some pruned-up old guy? Why not have no hope of satisfying your sexuality? And so that's why I started sexuality.com as a place where I could make my feelings known about it and to give them some options.
All right, you're talking about 4 guys, older men, who have younger wives. Do you think this is an epidemic of young women with older men?
Well, I don't see a reason why a woman has to prostitute herself. She's that desperate for money or whatever, that young women have to be with these old pruned-up guys. And I feel it's my duty as a member of Generation X to let the women of my generation say, please, ladies, what are you doing, ladies? Are you doing that desperate for? Are you that desperate for money that you will have sex with an old guy? And we have to draw a line someplace. And you men are having sex with older women. I mean, that's charity sex, okay?
I was going to ask you about that. You call that charity sex? So a young guy having sex with an older woman, and we're talking about marriage here too, aren't we?
Yeah, I mean they're getting married because I think they're getting married. A young woman having sex with an old guy is a waste of a woman. But obviously they're getting married because they want to ensure their future in terms of their money. Okay, and they're being with the old guy because they can have a baby. The old guy is going to die sooner or later, then they marry a young guy. And
what about these young men having sex with older women? You call that charity sex?
That's a charity leg, and that's not really where it's at with me. I'm just talking about.
Don't you think that these are people who could have real feeling for each other, whether it's a young woman with an older guy, a young man with an older woman? Don't you think these people care about each other?
Well, Phil, I think in some instances, very, very few, statistically, very, very few cases does a woman have sex with an older guy and she really cares about him. And,
all right, what about, you brought up Larry King. What about that?
I mean,
does she love him?
I don't know. I mean, would you? I mean, I'm saying.
Well, forget about would I. I mean, Larry King's wife is younger than him.
Yeah, and I mean, look at the guy. I think it's all about the guy's money, personally.
You think it's about his money? Why?
Well, I mean, look at the guy. That's got to be about money. And
well, that doesn't really answer my question. Okay, you feel that there is nothing there?
Now, when you take a look at that guy, I mean, or any of these other dudes, like
all right, James Doohan, you mentioned.
Yeah, I think it's the same thing. I think these are rich old guys, and I think a lot of these women are into these guys, because of their money. I think that's a waste of a woman and her hotness. Women marry older guys and has babies, and there's a chance that the baby will come out old and wrinkled. Larry King's kid looks 50, and what I do on Sensuality.com is basically I have commentary. And
you said you have some pictures on your website, right?
Yes, sir.
What are the pictures?
Well, women can see me and remind themselves that you are a young woman, and when the old man dies and you need cess and a male influence for your kid, you can take a look at my pictures and see that there is life after, being married to an old guy. And
so you are the primary focus of your website, and how old are you, by the way, Chris?
I'm 28, Phil.
Don't you think that you're sticking your nose into people's lives who are just trying to get along and have happiness?
I'm not sticking my nose in. I'm just saying to young women, and there's been a lot of them who are marrying older guys, there is an option, and it's returning to young guys, good cess, having a baby with a guy your age, and the two of you then can develop in your sensuality and sexuality.
All right, Chris Norton with us here. Our number, 1-800-449-8686. He has a website, and we're going to get into what is on your website, but basically you see that there is a tendency for young women to marry older guys.
That's absolutely true.
And have relationships with them.
Yes, sir. And on my website, Phil, I feature not only commentary about that, but also pictures of me.
Now, why pictures of you? I take it you're really handsome?
I am, yeah.
And you got no problem admitting that?
I don't have any problem with that. I'm handsome, yeah, and I'm ripped. I mean, I work out.
So in other words, you have pictures of yourself to remind 20-year-old women what?
Well, on Sensuality.com, you can see me and see, how hot I am. These are printable pictures you can make into like a whatever you want to do, like a mask or something.
Let me get on. I've got my computer here. This is a picture of you, and this is on your website where you can remind young women where they can go to find a good-looking guy, right?
Well, this is my website. I mean, to remind young women what they can have.
All right, now this is picture one is what?
Picture one's a picture of me. I'm wearing jeans, cowboy boots, and a loose-fitting silk shirt. I'm leaning against a Porsche Boxer with my arms folded. That's a Porsche Boxer. It's a very, very nice car. And I'm looking very casual there.
And when a woman sees that picture, she's seeing what?
Well, I mean, if a woman sees that picture, I'm 28 years old. She's seeing a hot, young, 28-year-old dude. I've got, obviously I got a nice body. And this could be our lifestyle together,
Are you looking for women to have a relationship with you? Are you
No, Phil. I'm not looking for women to be hooked up with me necessarily, unless, of course, they wanted to, and we have email and they could talk. I'm just looking at myself as the ideal for what a woman could have.
Okay, so when she sees a picture of you in your jeans, your cowboy boots, and a loose-fitting silk shirt leaning against a Porsche Boxer?
That's correct.
What is she seeing?
She's seeing the lifestyle she could have. She's seeing the lifestyle, what could be if you marry a young dude, not some old wrinkled-up, pruned-out guy like James Doohan or Larry King, but a young guy that has a Porsche Boxer and a loose-fitting silk shirt. Okay?
All right, look, picture number two. What is this? This is the shower?
Yeah, this is very sexy. This is a picture that's on my website. I'm just out of the shower. I'm bending over to pick up a towel. I'm just out of the shower. I'm bending over to pick up a towel. I'm looking over my shoulder.
You are naked from behind. I want people to know on this picture.
Yes, I am. But it's something very sexy. It's something women like. I have wet hair and beads of water on my back. I would tell you something. Women love this.
How do you know that women like this? This is a picture of you bending over from behind, and you're looking over your shoulder at who? The lady that you're with?
That's right. I mean, the fantasy there is that, I've just taken a shower. She's coming in to take her shower, and we're just all showering together, and I'm bending over. I'm getting a towel and everything.
How do you know women like this?
I'll tell you right now, Phil, my website gets 3,000 hits a day. Women love this stuff. Okay, I got 3,000 hits a day on my website.
All right, picture number 3. What is this?
Okay, this is me playing volleyball at the beach. I'm going up for a spike at Hermosa.
What do you mean going up for a spike? You mean you're hitting the ball?
I'm hitting the ball, yeah.
What is that you're wearing?
I'm wearing a Speedo with a mesh netting. It's very, very athletic, very sassy. Women can see the mesh netting because it's kind of bulging out at the bottom. And, again, this is a picture of how athletic I am, how ripped I am. And
so, Chris, what you are is the ideal for a woman who's in her 20s, who is married to an older guy or in a relationship with an old guy. She can go to your website and see how good it can be.
Well, I mean, she can get pictures of good-looking guys.
That's what I was going to say.
But what I provide on my website is a specific targeting of young 20-year-old women who are married to old guys who are locked into a relationship, like Larry King's wife could log on, okay? You know, James Doohan's wife could log on.
Well, I don't know how old these guys. First of all, you're asking for. I doubt if that's going to happen. I don't know how old she is anyway.
But the point is, they could log on and see what life could be with a younger guy.
All right, and here is picture 4, and this is a little unusual, right? You're sitting at a computer.
Yeah, I'm sitting at a computer. My shirt's off. You can see my jeans are unbuttoned a little bit. What that does is it combines sass with work, saying that a young man can combine sass with work. And
you're sitting at a computer, and those look like slacks. So you're in your work clothes, right?
I was in a suit, yeah.
And you've stripped your shirt, your tie, and everything off, and your pants are unbuttoned?
Yeah, because I'm at the computer, and I'm sort of, you know, it's a very sassy, hot day. And that's a way for women to see what they can have as well.
You're a wild guy, Chris. Chris Norton is my guest. He has a website for women who are in a relationship with older guys, reminding them what it can be like. He has some picture series in cowboy boots, loose-fitting silk shirt. There is one of him bending over in the shower. There's another one here playing volleyball, wearing a Speedo with mesh netting. Chris, you say you get 3,000 hits a day?
Yeah, Mr. Hendrie, believe me, I know what women like because I've been around women my whole life. I've had a lot of relationships. I get 3,000 hits a day, yeah. And this is my way of telling the women out there that are hooked in a bad relationship, log on, check me out, see what your life could be.
Because there's too many of them going out with older guys.
I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy, and I don't think older guy making a baby with an older guy, I don't think it's not healthy neither.
Chris Norton is our guest. Our number, 1-800-449-8686. He has a website. You can go over there and take a look at pictures of him. If you're a young woman in her 20s and you're involved in a relationship with a 50-year-old guy, it'll remind you what life could be like with a guy like him. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show. Show. We have on the line with us Chris Norton from Hermosa Beach, California. He's got a website where women who are involved in relationships with older men can go and look at him and be reminded of their youth and why they should really be with a younger man. Isn't that what you're basically saying, Chris? That they should be with a younger man? So it's a call. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm right here. I mean, I just think it's wrong to be wasting all of your sexuality on some old guy who's pruned up and, you know, is ready to die or something. You know.
And what about love? What about?
Well, I mean, you talk about love, man. You can fall in love with a guy your own age, okay? But I think when most young women are reminded of how hot, you know, like a young guy can be. I mean, I'm very hot looking, and they're reminded of how hot looking a young guy can be. They suddenly realize they've muffed it up, and they ought to, like, you know, get back with young guys.
All right, 1-800-449-8686, our number. Chris is on the line, and here is Palmdale. You're on the air. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, hi.
Hi, I'm calling to encourage young women to go out with old men. I've been married to a man. I'm 30 years old.
You're kidding me.
My husband's 55. He's a retired LAPD. He's a gorgeous hunk of man. I've been married to him for 3 years happily.
What were you lacking?
I can't believe you're saying this.
No, what were you lacking in your life that you didn't have you don't want to be with?
Me?
What are you lacking in your life that you don't want to be with?
Oh, nothing. I have a full life. I'm an RN nurse. I have a home. I have a vehicle. I have 2 wonderful dogs. My husband's wonderful.
Well, I know, but you should have been with a guy your own age. Why?
Oh, I was with guys my own age.
Okay, what were you missing?
They're missing a lot compared to what he has. He's a better lover than all my other lovers.
Going out with the wrong kind of guy. I would suggest that you go to sexuality.com.
I don't know how I could get it any better.
Well, you could. Believe me. And the way to do that,
I've been with younger guys. I've been
to...
with good-looking guys. My husband's very good-looking. Just because he's older, it also means he's wiser.
Are you going to have a kid?
No, I'm not planning on having children.
Why not?
I have a heart condition. I don't want to have children.
You have a heart condition, or he does?
Yeah. I don't want to have children. I never wanted to have children. That's beside the point. I agree with you there. I don't think you should have children.
Are you sure you have a heart condition, or he does?
No, he doesn't have a heart condition. He's fine.
What?
He is fine.
Okay, we got the joke, Chris, all right?
Yeah, but I mean, she's covering up for him because he's old, you know.
Oh,
all I'm saying is, if you go to sexuality,
he can whip anybody.
Yeah, I'm sure he's really great. I'm sure Grandpa's fantastic. But I said,
well, why are you being cynical? Okay, if the woman says she's in love with the guy, were you married before you met him?
I was once, yes, to a younger man.
Younger than you?
Yeah, no, he was still older than me by 5 years.
How old are you?
I'm 30.
So, Chris, if this lady goes to your website, what will she find?
You go to my website, baby. You're going to see me.
I heard pictures of you in your little bikini. I could get that from a magazine in a corner.
No, this is real. This is me. You can communicate with me. It's real.
I'm a 55-year-old husband.
I'm as real can get.
Okay, thank you.
All younger women should definitely go out with an older man. They're better lovers. Period.
No, wrong.
Are you a good lover, Chris?
Yeah, I think I am, man. And I got the women who'll back it up too. So it's not like it's some big secret.
Well, but that's a lady that was in love. Would you agree?
I think she's fooling herself. Yeah.
You really think so?
Yeah, I really do. I think she's felt sorry for some old guy. And she got some security, and being with a younger guy means sexuality, and it also means, being involved in a dangerous relationship. And I think a lot of younger women are scared of that right now.
All right, here's Lockhart on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi, I just absolutely cannot believe that this man... Let me tell you about older men. I happen to be younger and interested in an older man, and there's absolutely no reason in the world that they can't be absolutely everything that you want.
But that's the whole thing. Why older men? What's going on in your psychology?
Because an older man wouldn't be on the phone on a radio show airing his problems and having absolute inadequacy. Oh, I can't even go here. I'm so upset.
Well, this is the host. Tell me...
No, Phil, let me just answer a question.
No, hold on. She's obviously very angry at you. Tell me...
Not angry. You don't have that power.
Well, it's not. I'm the host of the show. I'm not trying to make you angry, man.
You,
I'm trying
Chris.
to...
No, let me just say something to you. Okay.
Hold on for a minute. You're married to an older guy?
No, I'm not.
You're not.
I'm interested in an older man.
Are you going with him right now?
We're working on that.
Oh, okay. How much older than you?
15 years.
Chris, would you call 15 years that much older?
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, that means the dude's in his late 40s.
He's 46.
Okay, let me just say that I'm 47.
I'm not saying you're old, Phil. I'm saying if you were going out with a 32-year-old woman, I think that'd be some very serious stuff.
I think a 32-year-old woman knows her mind a whole lot more than a 32-year-old man.
Well, whatever that means, I don't know what that means. So I'm saying if you go to my website, okay, and check me out, and see how good I look, you'll see the sense that hello?
She hung up? Ma'am, you there? She hung up, yeah. She's angry, all right.
Apparently I do have power over her.
All right, here is Granada Hills on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello? Granada Hills? Okay, they hung up too. 1-800-449-8686. You're really pissing the ladies off tonight, I think.
Look, I'm not pissing off anybody, okay? She just said she don't have the power. What I do have is a website where women can...
No, you're getting women angry at you questioning their choices as far as relationships go.
I'm not questioning any choices. These women are angry because I'm bringing the truth out, and they are angry because they can't face the truth, Phil. And the truth is that they are with men who are older than them because they're afraid of committing to a younger guy because it's dangerous, it's sassy, the sexuality is stronger. They can get hurt because a younger guy may dump them. And if they go to my website and they check me out, they're going to see the yin and the yang, man. They're going to see how good I look and what it could be like with a younger guy, and they're also going to see how bad they could get dumped if they get dumped by a good-looking guy who has a Porsche Boxer and a silk shirt.
If they get dumped by a good-looking guy who has a Porsche Boxer and a silk shirt.
Yeah.
That's what you said.
That's what I said.
All right, 1-800-449-8686. Chris Norton, my guest. This is the Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. Well, there certainly have been a lot of older men, younger women relationships. What do they call those? They call them a spring, a winter spring? Or something like that, relationship, summer, winter relationship, older men, younger women in the news. Larry King's wife just had a baby. We talked about James Doohan, he and his wife, although neither one of those guys married to a woman in her 20s. Chris Norton has a website you can go to and read his commentary about younger women should stay with younger men. And he has pictures of himself posted all over his website to show younger women what they're missing out on. And what is your URL address, Chris?
Yeah, Phil, thank you. It's sexuality.com. Young women can come and see me, and it will remind you that you are young women, and when the old man dies and you need sex, and also you need a male influence for the kid that this wrinkled-up kid that you had with the old man, you can have these pictures are printable. And
what do you mean the wrinkled-up kid you had with the old man?
Because a lot of these kids that women have with older guys come out wrinkled. I mean, they come out older. That's part of the genetics of it.
Are you talking about Down syndrome?
No, I'm talking about how the kid, if you have a kid with an older guy, the kid is going to come out more wrinkled up.
Is that medical fact, or is that...
That's my understanding, yes, sir.
That sounds very far out, okay?
Well, that is my understanding, sir. But more to the point, I mean, I'm just trying to remind women of their duty to be with the younger guy. I think it's the duty to be with a younger guy.
All right, here is Compton on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hi. Could you turn your radio down, please?
Yes. Okay.
Go right ahead, ma'am. You're on the air.
Oh, yes. My name is Marion, and I was just saying there's nothing wrong with going with the older guy, because sometimes it's like a father figure.
How old are you?
I'm 49.
Oh, well, you're not exactly young yourself, are you? I'm talking about women in their 20s,
Okay.
Is that baby your grandkid?
Well, you know what? I have an uncle. He's like 61.
You have a what?
An uncle. He's like 61.
Is that baby doing some yard work, like sawing a treehouse or something, man? Because I can hear her sawing something in the background. I just wonder what that was.
The car.
Yeah, there's some sawing going on, definitely.
Yeah, it sounds like they're sawing down a tree.
But so you have an uncle. You have an uncle who's 59, huh?
He's 61.
61,
and he has, yes, and he has a 20-year-old wife.
I'm not talking.
She has 3 kids for him, and the youngest one is only 2.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Well, but by the time he gets to be 71, it'll be 10, and he might be dead, and that's not such a great thing, is it?
Yeah, but that's in the black neighborhoods. You have a lot of that going around, right?
Yes.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, nice.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Bye. Rancho Palos Verdes on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello. Whoops, hold on. Rancho Palos Verdes. Hello.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, ma'am. You're on the air.
No, I just would like to respond to your guest about older men, younger women.
Yes, ma'am.
I think, younger women would really prefer older men because they have more substance. They can talk with sense.
Who?
Older men.
Can talk with sense?
Of
See,
course.
That's where you're wrong. I think younger men, if you go to my website, you can see a lot of different things.
It's not only the body, honey. You can have the greatest body, but if you're the dumbest guy on earth,
Well, but you can
it
hear
won't
I'm
get
on the
you
radio
anywhere.
station. I'm on the radio station right now talking.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to have brains to get on the radio station.
Say that again?
I said, I'm on the radio station right now, and you have to have brains to be on the radio station.
Well, obviously, they have to invite somebody like you so that all the listeners can get, all hype, get irritated with the way you talk. I got irritated.
No, I'm not trying to irritate you.
You sound really very dumb. And you don't have any substance at all.
That's where you're wrong. That's where
I'm wrong. That's where I'm right. You keep on saying earlier that, look at my website, look at my muscles, or look at your face. Who likes to look at men with body if you don't, if you cannot even talk about sense? Earlier you were talking about, when a woman gets married to an older man, women can give birth to wrinkly babies.
Yeah.
Are you so dumb? Don't you know that babies, they come out wrinkly?
No, what I'm saying is the older the man is that you have sex with, the more wrinkled up the baby is because of the old man.
Where did you get this? And who told you this?
Are you telling me that, how come babies come out wrinkled then?
Because they have to gain weight.
Well,
they come out because they cannot come out so big.
If you go to my website, you'll see that I have commentary. So it's not just pictures; it's commentary about why I think kids come out wrinkled up. And I think
I think you better read some more or get in touch to a doctor, a pediatrician.
No, I'm saying
or an obstetrician. Maybe you can
Let me ask you, this is the host, ma'am.
The doctor can educate you more.
Ma'am,
why these babies, they come out wrinkled.
Right, ma'am, this is Phil Hendrie. This is the host.
It has nothing to do whether you get married to an older man or a younger man.
Ma'am, this is Phil Hendrie, the host. I wanted to ask you a question, okay?
Sure.
On his website, he has a picture of himself getting out of the shower, bending over to pick up a towel.
Yeah.
He's naked from behind, and he's looking over his shoulder with wet hair and beads of water on his back.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's sassy, isn't it? Don't you think that's sassy?
No. Who wants to look at somebody with the, who wants to look at that?
Okay, tell her about picture 3, Phil.
All right, picture 3 is he's playing volleyball, going up for a shot, wearing a Speedo with mesh netting underneath.
And how is a younger woman supposed to feel? Looking at that kind of picture.
It's very hot.
Are we supposed to feel excited over his look?
It's very hot. It's very hot.
I don't think so. You know what? What is hot if you're smart? Okay, what is hot
if
there's something you can offer beside your body.
Picture 4, he's sitting at a computer with his shirt off and his jeans unbuttoned.
Yeah.
Not jeans, slacks.
Slacks, I'm sorry.
And then?
And I'm looking at you.
So, how am I supposed to react? I should go gaga?
Excuse me, but I'm very good looking. By the way, I'm not offering up my buddy. I'm offering myself.
Yourself? So, what's yourself? Obviously, the mere fact that you're showing your body, your muscle, your unbuttoned shirt, that's your body, right?
No,
when
but
you're saying yourself, that should involve your brain. Obviously, it doesn't involve your brain. It just involves your body.
It is my brain. It
is your brain. What's your brain? That one in between your groin? That's your brain?
No,
not that one on top of your neck?
The other one.
What's the other one? The one in between your legs.
The one in between the ears.
That's your brain? I don't think so.
All right. Well, thank you. I just wanted to take a poll on that. Sebastopol on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
You're on the air, ma'am.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to address my comments to this man. And his comments indicate to me that he knows very little about women. All he speaks about is what he looks like. He says nothing about his integrity, his kindness, his sense of humor, his compassion.
Well,
he just talks about what he looks like. And if he thinks that's the main thing that women are interested in, then he knows very little.
Well, what about the women who have been with older guys and got all of that and got bored? Now they want to have sex.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because look at the women who are married to old, pruned-up guys, and they go out having affairs.
Well, then they probably haven't. The way you talk about people, you act like you're not going to become an old person. You have.
Well, one of the things, I use a lot of oils on my body, so
great.
I do.
Okay, well, that's wonderful, but you're still going to be an old person someday, and then you're not going to have anything left.
What do you mean you use a lot of oils?
I use a lot of oils.
So you use a lot of oil.
That means that my skin's not going to age, so I'm going to look.
You are not very intelligent if you think you can use all the oils in the world and you will still age.
You
can have plastic surgery from now to whenever.
I don't need plastic surgery.
But all you're going to end up with is women who are shallow, like you are.
Ma'am, all I'm trying to say is I use moisturizers.
Yeah? So you're going to be handsome forever. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I'm
Great.
going to look young.
great. So you'll look young forever, but you still won't have any integrity and honor. And
I have integrity.
You show unkindness. You talk about old people that are wrinkled like they should be, not allowed on the face of the earth.
No, I didn't say that. All I'm saying is that if you're a young woman, you ought to have the sass that I can provide, as opposed to going out with wrinkle boys.
Listen, I'm a 50-year-old woman. I've been with men that are 25 years old that couldn't keep up with me, sweetheart.
That answers the question. You're grandma. Look, Grandma, I'm just talking about your granddaughter, okay? And how.
All right, look, that's not necessary.
Well, you should have told me.
Told you what?
How old the lady was.
Hey, listen,
doesn't make any
men
difference.
that are in their 20s, okay? That have no idea how old I am because I use a lot of oil.
You go to sensuality.com and you'll see my body.
I wouldn't even want to do that.
Check it out.
So what?
Oh, boy. God, I'm embarrassed for my species now. I mean...
I don't
what are you talking about?
What do you mean you use a lot of oils?
Okay. You don't know about oils and how they moisturize the skin? You go to sensuality.com, look at picture number 2, check out my ass. It's the best ass on the net.
Sounds like your ass is probably on the top of your neck.
Whatever.
All right, ma'am. Thank you very much for your call. Here is La Puente on the Phil Hendrie Show. Check out my ass.
That's right.
La Puente, hello.
Yes, hello. I was just calling to make a comment to this man. I think he's a very immature young man.
How you doing?
And all he's doing is advertising his website, which we're not interested in.
What's your
name? If a mature, smart woman who is looking for an older man, that's none of his business. And I don't think body has nothing to do with him. And, I'm really disgusted about what he's saying.
I'm very sassy.
I feel sorry for him.
I'm very
because
sassy.
It seems like he doesn't have nothing to do.
I'm sassy.
Well, I don't think, spending time with you in the air will do anything because I think you're very immature and not educated at all, and you're advertising that website. If women out there are listening to me, do not even bother to look in the internet for this guy. He sounds very stupid. Have a good day. Bye.
Check my ass out.
Okay, did you get it out there?
Sensuality.com, Phil. All you have to do is go on the internet. You find it.
Yeah, he got it. 1-800-449-8686. Phil. Phil Hendrie Show here, 1-800-449-8686. Well, I think part of the problem this week for me is, as I mentioned, coming down with this bloody cold, hanging around kids. You don't know what disease. You hang around kids, I like them. I say I like them. I can't say generally I like kids. I have to say that the guys that my stepkids, they're all right with me. They're okay, they're fun. Generally, as a rule, though, kids bug me, They just, I don't see any purpose for having them around. But naturally, it's not logical. People will say, well, you were a kid once. Yes, you're right, I was. And they're little people, too, and they're going to be adults someday. Yeah, you're right. And the better we treat them, and, it all makes sense. It's all logical. And I recognize that, that I should be more open-minded or somehow more magnanimous when it comes to kids. But the fact is, they bore me, and I don't like being around them. But my guys are okay. My stepkids are all right. And maybe if I hung around more kids, I'd feel differently, but I don't feel like hanging around more kids, Like my friends' kids. I'll tell you this, my godson, Joe, I like him a lot, and Katie, I like her. Let's see, what other kids am I supposed to say I like? Otherwise, they'll get bummed out. That's it. The rest of those kids, I hate them. Now, they're all right, but, you see them in a market or something and screaming their guts loose in a restaurant, and you don't want to be around them. So I take every precaution not to be around them. And guess what? I fell right into a swirling vortex of them this Memorial weekend, and I wind up getting some disease. Kids are disease. That's the problem with kids. They're disease carriers. They carry every kind of cold, every kind of sore, every kind of open, oozing, impetigo sore. They got it. And you wind up getting pink eye, lice. Oh, God. Everything. And if you hang around them long enough, you'll get it too. So that's what happened to me this past weekend, man. I thought I was just getting some kind of an allergy deal. Man, I wound up getting a stinking cold. It's like the day before June, isn't it? Is today the 31st? One day before June? Last summer I got a stinking summer cold, too. I don't know, man. Maybe I ought to start lifting weights, taking more vitamins. But that's the whole deal with kids. So if I were you, I wouldn't have any and I wouldn't hang around any, all right? Unless you're a mom or a dad and then you got to be with them. That's okay. But if you have any control over whether to spend time with them or not, I recommend against it. I'm choking to death. Listen to what they did to me. Choking to death. Anyway, don't forget our website, philhendrieshow.com. There's so many great fan pages out there, too. I'll recommend one, Bill Kiesling's shuckandjive.com, and Bill has links to a lot of those different pages. And there's forums and all kinds of crap. So if you're wondering just what the hell this show is about, if you're brand new to this show and you think you know what's going on, believe me, you don't. You really, really don't. Oh, yes, I do, Phil. No, you don't. Check out any one of those or check out our fan page, philhendrieshow.com. Jesus. I think I'm going to die. That's what it is. Speaking of kids, we thought we'd close out the show tonight. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. 1-800-449-8686. And we've got the Juan Gonzalez story that we're going to be looking at. I say Juan Gonzalez, not just Alien Gonzalez, but his father now in the country. We'll be looking at that with Jay Santos of the Citizens Auxiliary Police. Did you get me 2 cups of coffee here, Melissa? Wow, do I really look like I need it? 2 cups of coffee. I'm going to have to move them all over here, otherwise I spill them right down this brand spanking new board. That's $20,000. It's coming out of your piggy bank, not mine. And look at all that Mountain Dew that Taylor can't keep away from. Thanks for the equal, too. That Mountain Dew, they better take out of the machines downstairs. Note to whoever's in charge of putting the stuff in the machines, get that Mountain Dew out of there. Because Taylor and the rest of the engineers that work around here are psychotic. These guys, you know what they're going to do? They're going to go out here and hijack a bus. They're going to go out and hijack a bus. They're going to do something at the IMAX across the street. Something bad's going to happen if you don't get that Mountain Dew out of that machine. Mountain Dew. Do you know that I had 2 cans of that, I guess a couple of months ago, and I thought that I was having a nervous breakdown? Oh, you want it on the 5th floor, not the 3rd. They want to bring it up here. Ready access. All right, now we have on the line Jay Santos, the Citizens Auxiliary Police. What a couple of days it's been, Jay, for this little boy and his father.
Well, I'll tell you something, Phil. It's first of all, thanks for having us on your program.
You're welcome.
And it's good to be back on your show. Citizens Auxiliary Police, which is a volunteer police auxiliary agency for municipal police forces here in Southern California, and we do volunteer to utilize our talents wherever we can in crowd control across the country. We keep an eye on this. We do monitor this. We have done some tactical review on what's going on in Miami, and there are some, I think, encouraging signs, even though I realize that the people down there probably have got their emotions running pretty high.
Well, here is the story is, while flag-waving, fist-raising Cuban Americans fill TV screens demanding that Alien Gonzalez remain in the United States, a smaller, less vocal number of them would like him to go back. Many Cuban Americans say the boy, who has been in the United States since Thanksgiving, has a better opportunity for a successful life in the United States, regardless of his material surroundings. And I know that there are people... Actually, Carell and Andrew went down there, didn't they? 2 nights, Carell and Andrew have been in Miami. Did you know that, Craig? All those years that we spent doing nights in Los Angeles, and we never got sent anywhere. Other than to the Gay Pride Parade in West Hollywood on... no, the Gay Pride Parade. Forget that. We went down to the West Hollywood Halloween party. But we didn't go to Miami 2 nights running, but man, those guys did. Anyway, who cares? We got listeners in Miami, all right? And all the best to those 2 clowns. I hear they interviewed Alien, but they couldn't use it because the kid's attorney said no or something. I don't know. The point being that this is a very volatile situation.
Well, Phil, it is volatile, but it's also a situation that can be very easily dealt with. And again, I'm not on your program to talk about the politics.
No, I understand that. We're talking basically about the security of the situation, right?
That is really what I do, Phil. I talk about security. I talk about what we can do for crowd control. It is my interest, and it is the interest of Citizens Auxiliary Police, to generally be more mindful of those things. I'm not. It doesn't matter to me whether you're a Mexican, a Cuban, American. I don't care. I am not interested in that. I'm into saving lives. And this crowd of Mexicans that is gathered out in front of the Elian Gonzalez's home, my understanding, Phil, it's the home of the aunt.
Yes, I think it is his aunt that he's staying with.
All right. I think it's pretty standard. It isn't anything that...
Does any of this scare you as a member of the Citizens Auxiliary Police? Does this situation intimidate you at all?
No, not at all, Phil. I mean, it's pretty standard crowd control. If I was down there and I saw this group of people standing in front of that house, first of all, you got to understand this. The goal is to get Juan Gonzalez in to see his son.
Okay.
My understanding is he came to the country, he wants to see his son. His son is down in this home. So the goal would be to get the man in to see his son. Very standard. It's a very standard kind of crowd control situation. You work some of the bullfights out in Pico Rivera. You work some of the sunny traffic down in the Mercado. You know what to do with a lot of these, they're Cuban or Mexicans people?
They're Cubans.
The Cuban people down in Miami. It's a little emotional, but I can assure you we are very well versed. We have some 150 trained and professional officers. When you're dealing with a lot of people like this, they are standing in front of a house where the little boy is. There are some good methods, and I'm just saying that we stand at the ready to try and help Miami police in any way that we can.
Now, you are operating out of Los Angeles, but you say you stand at the ready to go to Miami to assist the Miami police in crowd control?
As a auxiliary police force, we can do this. I would tell you that we are standing at the ready. I don't know whether Miami PD...
Tell me some of the techniques used in crowd control. You have a group of people, they're very vociferous, they're very emotional. They stand at the ready to, I guess, block the man's entry into the house, or at least block anybody's attempt to take this child out of the country. What do you do?
Right. Phil, the first thing you want to do is you want to talk to them calmly. You want to reason with them. You want to tell them, okay, you've had your little protest, you've had your little demonstration, show's over, move on, go home, lock your doors. I want to tell you something, Phil. Mexican, Cuban, American, I don't care. I'm not interested. We're just interested in saving lives. So the first thing you do is you go to these people who are standing there in front of this Gonzalez home where the little boy is, and you say to them, okay, show's over, move on, you've had your little protest, we've seen you waving your flags, good for you, time to go home, time to get some sleep and get ready for the new day. We'll handle it from here.
But if their intent is to keep that boy from leaving the country, maybe keep him from leaving the house, if their intent is to keep that man from entering, what do you do?
That's where you go to step two. I mean, if you do not use, if calm reason is not utilized, then you go to step two. Our officers have pepper spray. You go up to these Cubans and tell them how things are done. I mean, it's my way or the highway. That's basically what you do. You talk to these Mexicans as if it's my way or the highway. And
you know that we're talking about Cubans, okay?
My understanding is right, but you let them know that it's my way, or the highway, okay? We do have pepper spray. We also have beanbag gun. It's a kid-friendly thing. With the beanbag gun, what you're doing basically is firing a weapon that is not doesn't contain any lethal ordnance. It contains a beanbag like a Beanie Baby or some deal like that, where the kid's not going to get too upset. We also have PR-24s, and I'll tell you what, a PR-24, you know, Phil, you got your Cabeza there, you know, and you got your PR-24. Which one do you think wins?
I guess the PR-24.
You got it, my friend. So I'm simply there to advise the Miami police, and if they wish, we can mobilize and get down there and help out. We have a couple of officers. One of them right now is working at FAO Schwartz at the cash register, but we could mobilize within a couple of weeks to be down there to help them out. We are used to emotional situations. We've been doing some tactical study. The situation is not unlike, opening up an extra line at a supermarket or something like that. I mean, what you're talking about here is...
What kind of police, as a Citizens Auxiliary Police unit, you are not sworn police officers.
No, but what I'm saying is, Phil, we've had a tactical overview on these things. You got a crowd out in front of this kid's house. Have you ever seen them open up an extra line at a supermarket?
I've seen them open up an extra line at a supermarket, and people go running for that line.
It's pretty much the same thing. You open up an extra line at a supermarket, the rush is on, and you got to hold out. We know how to do it. One of our officers used to work a door over Kmart, and we do have levels of experience there.
Said, all right, well, you've got one officer's working behind a cash register at FAO Schwartz and others at Kmart, so you say you can't mobilize for a couple of weeks?
Well, right now we got two guys that one guy's leading an Eagle Scout troop this weekend, but we could mobilize, probably be in Miami in a couple of weeks and help the police with whatever situation. That's what I'm saying. We've got a tactical overview. It's pretty standard, though. And I don't think there's anything we couldn't handle.
All right, Jay Santos, Citizens Auxiliary Police, located in the South Bay area here in Los Angeles, is on the line talking about the crowd that is gathered there in front of the Gonzalez home. Will the child be given to the father? Will the father be able to get through this crowd to see the kid? Will the child be removed from the United States? Will the dad stay here? We don't know. Maybe a lot of it has to do with those people that are standing in front of that home who've been chanting and praying and singing for a long time now. Our number is 1-800-449-8686. Jay Santos with us from the Citizens Auxiliary Police on the Phil Hendrie Show. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show with Jay Santos from the Citizens Auxiliary Police talking about the situation in Miami. Do we know how it stands right now, Mike? Is there people at status quo down there right now with the crowd in front of the house? Yeah, pretty much. There's people. Jay, do you know?
Yeah, Phil, we've been monitoring it tactically for our last 48 hours. It looks to be like it's fairly standard. There are people coming and going from the residents. What we are looking forward to is any problem that these... and I've told they're Cuban people.
Yes, sir.
That they're going to cause this man who has a legitimate right to go see his son, and a legitimate right to do what the government says he should be able to do, which is take his son out of Miami or not, as the case may be. So this is fairly standard. Nothing to be shocked about. Pepper sprays come in handy. Beanbag. We don't want to see it go to that.
No, of course. I mean, you do not want a violent situation, right?
No, not at all. What we'll do is talk to them calmly and reasonably. We wear a blue armband, so that makes us very recognizable and distinctive, and tell people the show's over.
By show's over, you mean?
To move along. They've had their little protest.
All right. Miami on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Hi. I'm calling from Miami, and there's no way those people are moving. There's no way you're going to tell them to go home and go to bed.
Well, they've had their protest.
They've had their protest. They're out. I mean, they're talking about Fidel Castro.
They had their fun.
Fidel Castro.
They've had their fun.
This is not fun to them. This is their life. You know, they don't work. They just stand out in front of that house, and they're ready. They practice every day.
I would suggest they maybe get a job. My name is Jay Santos, ma'am. I'm with the Citizens Auxiliary Police. I suggest that they find jobs.
Well,
if they had a job, they'd certainly not be standing in front, blocking the legal access to a home.
I'm not
blocking
for these
legal
people.
egress.
I think the boy should be sent back with his father. They should take him out of that house and send him back.
Well, that's what we would help them do.
But they're not going to do that.
That's what we would help them do. We would help them. Believe me, they'll move.
Why does the U.S. government need your help?
Believe
You're talking
me.
about the U.S. government.
I'm talking about Miami Police. Citizens Auxiliary Police.
Miami Police is Cuban.
Well, I can tell you right now that the Citizens Auxiliary Police is ready to aid anybody who wants to effect the legal removal of that child from that house.
Well,
it's pretty standard.
I don't think that Miami Police is going to ask anybody for help.
The Mexicans
Maybe
are not
National
going
Guard. That's about the only thing they'll be calling in.
Well, I can tell you that the Mexicans can be moved.
They're not Mexicans. They're Cubans. There's a big difference.
What's the difference?
Big difference? Big difference.
What is it? See, I ask people that. They don't seem to know what it is.
Mexicans are not allowed into the United States.
But
Cubans
Cubans are.
Come into the United States anytime he wants
to. They can swim on it. We'll get them moved out of there. Don't worry about it, ma'am.
1-800-449-8686, Los Angeles on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi,
Listen to me. We have blue armbands, and if those Mexicans don't do as we say, we'll show them our blue armbands, and they'll listen to us.
Go ahead, Los Angeles.
Hi, I'm calling just to point out that this individual is very culturally unaware. It truly doesn't matter if they're Mexicans, Cubans, whatever.
That's exactly correct.
Because of the background of the mobs that you're so-calling Mexicans, Cuban, whatever, you need to understand the way you can facilitate them being moved.
You need to understand those are Cuban individuals.
This is a fairly standard crowd control situation, ma'am, is the point that I was trying to make.
You were relating it to Kmart, opening a line and having an individual moved out.
I'm saying, what is the difference between you've seen a new line open at Kmart? There's a rush of bodies, right?
Yes.
Okay, you react. That's what we do. We react.
Well, I hope they don't need you.
I hope they don't need me too, but it's looking like it's getting out of control.
What kind of tactical? I mean, you said you had done background checks on tactical whatever.
We've been taking a look at what's been going on television. We're just doing a tactical overview by way of the things we've seen on TV. It looks like a very standard crowd control situation. I would not be worried about it. We can move that crowd one of two ways. Generally, you pepper spray. Generally, beanbag gun. It is not anything that is out of the ordinary. We know how to do it. First thing you do is you talk to them. You try to make sense to, reason with them. They've had their little protests or whatever they want to do down there. I don't even know. I don't care. Now it's time for them to move on, okay? One of my guys works at Kmart as a security and deals with these new lines, opening up every day, we're experienced with it.
Yeah, but this is a little more than a little protest. This runs much deeper.
It runs much deeper. It's just a bunch of people standing there who want their own way, and we've dealt with crowds like that before. That's what we're talking about, saving lives.
How have you dealt with crowds like that before? At Kmart?
When you're talking about crowd control, there's no difference.
There is a difference when it comes to the reason why the individuals are standing in front of there.
Well, I know why. People have got all kinds of motivations, man, but they can be moved in one way.
There's a difference. Also, the woman previously was pointing out she couldn't tell the difference between, or you couldn't point out the difference between,
Well, I asked her what the difference was between a Mexican and a Cuban. She couldn't tell me.
Well, the difference is these Cuban individuals. The difference is the Cuban individuals. It runs much deeper for them because of the Cuban.
Whatever runs deeper for them. Let me tell you, how deep does it run? A beanbag's still gonna work on them. Okay.
Not necessarily. These are people that came over on boats.
And I can tell you something right now. A PR-24 is gonna, whether they're Cuban or Mexican, whatever, it's gonna open your head up the same way.
We don't have to start talking about things violently like this, okay? We don't need to start going down that road, opening up somebody's head with a PR-24, okay?
It's a standard crowd control situation, Mr. Hendrie. It's no big thing. This lady's making a big thing out of it. Doesn't have to happen.
All right, Clearwater on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hey, Mr. Hendrie, Mr. Santos. Mr. Santos, I'm kind of concerned. You say you have experience with crowd control. And with your PR-24 striking someone in the head, are you trained, sir, with a PR-24?
Yes, I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. My concern is that the head that's a red zone area. You don't touch the head.
There's no difference between a bunch of shoppers during a blue light special and a bunch of Mexicans bitching about somebody I don't understand.
My concern is that you're talking about coming down there and hitting people in the head with a PR-24.
Well, if they don't move, how are you going to get them to move?
I'm a law enforcement officer in Florida. You don't hit people in the head with a PR-24.
They did to Rodney King.
No, they never hit him in the head. They hit him in the body.
No, they hit him in the head.
Okay, and also look what happened to them.
Well, I don't know. Where are they? I haven't seen those guys lately.
Well, one of them went to jail. At least one of them.
No?
Okay, and you say you're affiliated with the Los Angeles Police?
No, I never said that. I said I'm the Citizens Auxiliary Police. We wear blue armbands. Okay? See what I'm saying?
You're an independent organization?
Yes, sir. We wear blue armbands, and we use the Rodney King tape as a training tool.
I'll tell you right now, you come down to Miami swinging for people's heads with a PR-24, and that crowd's going to get bigger, and it's going to run you down.
Well, wait a second. You got a bunch of Mexicans standing out in front of a house.
They're Cubans, okay?
Cubans standing out in front of a house. I can move, and ain't no problem, okay? We can rock and roll.
If you
Citizens
think so.
Police will rock and roll.
If you think so, I'm telling you, though.
Thanks for your call, sir. Here is Miami on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi.
Yes.
I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Ma'am, this is a standard crowd control situation.
What's the problem? Everything this gentleman has said, that I think that he's just having a grand old time with the audience inciting us because
inciting you. All I'm saying
absolutely
is that this is a crowd that needs to be moved. Okay, the crowd needs to be moved.
I truly hope
the crowd needs to be moved, and we have to do that.
What I'm trying to say. A good time.
All right, is everybody listening to each other, or is everyone giving a speech here? Okay, what is it that you're trying to say, Jay?
Sorry,
I'm saying that this is a standard. This is a standard crowd control situation, and I can tell you right now, Phil, there is no problem. We don't have a problem. They don't have a problem. I don't have a problem. They go start having problems, then I'm going to have a problem with them.
Who?
The Mexicans that are
The Cubans.
The Cubans that are standing in front of that house.
Here is San Pedro on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Yeah, Mr. Santos, you need to come to reality. You don't even know what day it is. If you're going to sit on this radio and talk about you can't tell the Cubans between the Mexicans.
Well, what's the difference?
What is your problem? You don't know there's a difference. There's different countries they come from. And this situation is not a Kmart situation. This situation is a life and death situation.
I worked Kmart for 10 years.
Well, then you need to stay at Kmart and try not to deal with what's going on in Miami.
Working at Kmart doing what?
When they shifted lines, they opened up an extra line. I was on it. I'm on it.
Kmart.
No.
Have you ever heard anybody getting hurt at Kmart? I don't think so.
Ma'am, I can tell you that we had incidences of shoplifting. We had a lot of different things going on.
I wondered if you're the same one that was talking about how you stop cars at night and just stop people. Are you the same person?
What we do
with
Citizens Auxiliary Police.
Well, you better get to a reality check.
Citizens
because that
Auxiliary
little
Police,
band on your arm, honey, means nothing.
My blue armband. You better respect it.
It means something to you.
All right, hold the line here. Hold the line. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686.
About that. No, we will. We can break heads.
Jay Santos with us on the Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie, 1-800-449-8686 with Jay Santos of the Citizens Auxiliary Police. Now, you guys are not actual police officers.
We are an auxiliary police force, so we can aid and abet police officers in security.
But you're not even licensed by the state of California or anything, are you? Are you accredited by the state of California?
Well, I know, but the fact is we do have a great many officers who have had experience working private security training, former military. So we have a fairly broad, I think, view and control over this deal. And
all right, well, so you kind of are amateur. Well, not amateur, but you're not professionals, right?
Well, I don't. We're about saving lives. You don't call me. I'm not a professional. Let me tell you something right now. When we get down there Cuba or wherever it is in Miami, and talk to these people, I get up in their face. They'll listen to me whether I'm professional or not. I mean, only Mexicans shop at Kmart. I've been dealing with Mexicans for 10 years. They're just a bunch of pushovers with no motivation to do anything. And
these are not Mexican people. These are Cuban people. And I think what you just said about Mexican people is also very, very wrong, okay?
Well, Phil, again, I'm not a political guy. I'm a guy who's just trying to get a job done, trying to move these, whatever you want to call them, out in front of that house.
All right, well, we have this news in from Washington that on U.S. soil, Juan Miguel Gonzalez said Thursday he was truly impatient to reclaim his son, Elian, but his hopes for an orderly transfer of custody were dimmed when government negotiations with the 6-year-old Cuban boy's Miami relatives broke down. The father declared his love for his son, Elian, chastised those who are trying to obtain political advantage from the custody battle. He received immediate assurances that the U.S. government is eager to reunite him with his son. It is simply the right thing to do, said Deputy Attorney General Eric Holder.
Well, all this stuff is crap. I don't care. What I'm trying to do is just if they want to get the kid out, we'll help them get the kid out. If they want to get the kid in, we'll help them keep the kid in. Whatever they want to do, I can help them do it.
All right, let me go back to the lady in San Pedro, and then we'll move on. Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Am I on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Mr. Santos, take it from me. You need to take that time that you spent at the auxiliary and go back to school. Take geography 1, 2, 3, and 4, and history, same way, because you don't even know the difference in people. Okay.
Well, I've been asking people. I mean, people are people.
No,
I don't
people
have
are not
no prejudice.
People. Everybody's life is different. People are not people. People come from different backgrounds. And what you're saying, as you'll go down there with a tactical alert, that's the most idiotic thing that I've heard you say.
I've done a tactical review.
Besides, when you would give the hookers beer so that you can search them. I heard you say that, too.
Ma'am,
so,
what we try to do
just hang up and let someone else call
is do our job. We try to do our job.
What job?
Citizens Auxiliary Police.
That's not what
Citizens Auxiliary Police.
You did say that you did say you would give hookers or prostitutes beer.
That's right. So
to
he can
loosen
search
them.
them.
Excuse me. To relax them so that they're not in an uptight situation. Now that's the truth.
Get a hooker drunk.
I think you need to go back to get a real job so you can make money so you can get the Florida. Because if it takes 2 weeks for you to get the Florida, you must be walking, you and your little auxiliary crew.
In other words, it takes us 2 weeks to get clearance because this guy's still working. He's working 2 shifts for a guy that's on vacation.
Oh, big deal. Whoop-de-doo. It takes...
Is this a community? Is this the Citizens Auxiliary Police?
Hold up your whole routine.
No, ma'am. What I have 150 trained officers, but 2 of the guys are doing vacation coverage for another guy that went on vacation. Took his family to the river, okay? So they got to work the loading dock at FAO Schwartz.
But yet everything is still going on down in Miami. You should be down there today or tomorrow. You're talking about 2 weeks from now. This will be over.
You must be walking, huh?
We're not walking. I can assure you we have airplanes that we can fly in, okay?
Well, do you have the money to board the plane? That's the question.
Yes, we have money to buy tickets.
I don't believe
We'll be down there to help. Well, you may not believe
you know what?
but then,
you sound like you're not even able to hold the job. You sound very idiotic. If you could just hear yourself.
Ma'am, I'm trying to save lives. What do you do? I'm trying to save lives.
What kind of lives are you saving? Stopping people on the street
you
in
got
cars,
a lot of these
stopping people because they have a rag tied around their head. Stopping people.
You got a lot of these Latin people down here in Miami who are going to get all upset. You try to get that kid out of there, they're going to need help.
But you don't even know who's in Miami. You're calling them Mexican people in Miami. There's some Cuban people in Miami.
Well, let me ask you a question, ma'am. How do you deal with a Cuban differently than a Mexican?
Well,
how about if you forget about the Mexican?
They have a different life from Cuba.
I'm sure they got a few Mexicans mixed in.
In Mexico, they have freedom. In Cuba, it's a dictatorship.
I think what your point is that everybody's different and every culture is different, and there are ways of dealing.
Whether they got a few Mexicans mixed in, I don't know. The point is, what I'm trying to say is, they're both brown. They both eat rice.
You are ignorant.
What?
To the bone. You are ignorant.
They both are brown. They eat rice.
Not only are you ignorant, you are stupid.
Thank you for calling. Here is Salt Lake City on the Phil Hendrie Show. Hello.
Hi.
Yes, ma'am. Are you on a car? Are you on a speakerphone, perchance?
I'm on a cell phone.
Okay, go ahead.
Yes. This gentleman needs to take some cultural sensitive training. I would like to suggest that if you're interested in the police department, to go and get some real training.
Well, I'm about saving lives.
You're not saving lives. You don't save lives by threatening and not even knowing who your opponent, basically, because that's what you're going through in this situation. You are not even qualified to do this work.
Ma'am, I beg to differ. I worked 10 years in-store security at Kmart and JCPenney.
You know what? In-store security is not a police officer. It's a lot different. Picking up shoplifters is a lot different than crowd control over an emotional...
Johnson Beverage Company, Portland, Oregon, did lot patrol. We had a lot of different things go down. We had some bad stuff go down.
Oh, I'm sure
Doing
you
lot
did.
patrol at a beverage company?
You know, Phil, I didn't come here to listen to you question my credentials. I came here
I
to
will
save
question
lives.
your credentials.
I'm saving lives.
You're not saving lives. That's hokey.
We are saving lives by going down there and speaking to these people, calmly telling them to move on.
You are going to calmly speak to somebody by telling them that they're the only ones that shop at Kmart are Mexicans, and that they're Mexicans, and you don't even know the difference?
Well, you tell me that I'm not culturally aware. I'm down with a lot of the Vatos and the homies and all those the minority types. Okay, I'm down with them.
Minority types.
You're down with the Vatos, huh?
I'm down with a lot of the. Now you got me confused. What are they called?
I got you confused. What are you looking for?
I'm looking for the word of the ones that are down there.
Cuban.
Right.
Cuban.
The Cuban. Well, you tell me. You're in Salt Lake City. Boy, you got a real cultural melting pot there, don't you?
Yes, I'm half Athabascan Indian and half Norwegian.
You're half Bascan?
Athabascan. Do you even know that they exist?
Ma'am, I don't think... Athabascan?
Yes, I'm from Alaska.
You're Athabascan?
Athabascan. Never mind.
Forget it.
Never mind. I'll forget it, because you will not understand.
I worked at Kmart, for Christ's sake. I've never seen a white person in there. So what I'm saying is, most of the people are probably good people. We're down there to try to help. And
no,
yes,
who
save
asked you?
Lives.
Who
save
asked
lives.
you to come down?
Save lives. I'm doing an overview tactically.
Who asked you to come down?
Who asked you?
Did the Miami Police Department ask you to come down?
We stand at the ready if they do ask us.
All right.
So you won't be down there unless they ask you.
That's right. And if it's looking pretty hairy, they're going to need some help from us.
And I doubt if they'll call you. And if they do, they should be sued for
for hiring somebody
we
in
wear
your
distinctive
state.
blue armbands. People will know who we are.
Whoopee.
Ma'am, if you see a blue armband, I wouldn't get smart mouth the way you are right now.
Well, excuse me,
Okay.
but I will.
You're going to smart off to a guy with a blue armband?
I wouldn't worry one bit, because if you touched me, your ass would be in the court of law in a heartbeat.
I doubt it. Not with a blue armband, it wouldn't be.
With the blue armband.
That's right. You making fun of it?
All right. Anyway, thank you, ma'am, for your call. There's some very serious civil liberty concerns that people have here, okay?
The blue armband means trained in Taibo. Watch it. We do have Taibo training. Billy, Billy Blanks. A lot of these.
Taibo is jivo, man. You know that? Taibo is jive.
Why don't you repeat that?
Taibo is jive ass. Got it? Here is Colton.
Oh, boy, you're pissing me off.
Colton, hi, you're on the Phil Hendrie Show. Colton, hello?
Yes.
Go ahead, ma'am.
Hello.
You're on the air.
Hello. Talking to the guy who is in Miami.
Right.
First.
Right, I'm Jay Santa, Citizens Auxiliary Police.
Okay, sir, let me tell you, whatever you do is your business.
Are you Cuban?
You're gonna hurt the Cuban. First, they are Cuban, and you keep on saying Mexican.
Well, I mean, okay, they're Cuban. What are they?
They are from Cuba.
From Cuba.
Yeah.
All right, now that's where, Phil?
Well, let me tell you. They came from Cuba.
That's off the coast of what?
Florida.
Because they are refugee. We come as a refugee.
I understand
And Elian Gonzalez is a refugee.
I understand
He should stay in the United States, and you should be on your business. You shouldn't hurt the Cuban people. You talk very bad about people.
No, I don't, ma'am. I'm going to go down there. I'm going to try to hold.
No, you are very prejudiced. You are prejudiced, sir.
I'm what?
The way you talk.
I may
you
be
talk
prejudiced.
as a macho man.
Ma'am, I'm trying to save lives.
No, you are not trying to save lives. You are creating more problems. And you are telling me
Yeah,
that
you're
I
creating
came
problems.
from Cuba.
Hey, if
I
that
know how the communists are. Why don't you go and stay 6 months at least in Cuba?
Are you talking about Cubans? You tell me that Elian Gonzalez is from Mexico?
No,
He's from Cuba.
From
All right,
Cuba,
so I got
sir.
some wrong information.
Sir, from Cuba.
All right, man, people have been giving me wrong information then.
So you keep on saying Mexico.
Well,
that boy is from Cuba.
Well, the news stations have been giving out wrong information.
No, they haven't.
You got the wrong information?
Where's the father from? Is he from Mexico?
His father is from Cuba.
Well,
from
then
a
who's-
communist
His old man's from
country.
Cuba. What are you talking about?
All right, then we're getting some wrong information. Hold on for a minute. 2553 phone. Where is this Elian Gonzalez kid from?
From Cuba.
Kid from Cuba, man. See? Roger. All right, I got the word. He is from Cuba. Or they thought Guatemala out there, Bob? All right, I'm getting the word now, Guatemala.
Sir, the people from Cuba,
Well,
when they come here, when
He's
we
from
come
Cuba.
here,
Those jackballs you're working with at the Citizens Auxiliary Police. Tell them to go back on the loading dock at FAO Schwartz, okay? What is up with you?
Where's the kid from? Just tell me straight ahead. What country's the kid from?
Who, Elian Gonzalez?
Yeah.
He's from Cuba.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Yes.
What have
he's
we been
from
telling you
Cuba.
for the last half hour?
He has the right to stay in the United States.
He's from the United States?
No, he has the right
Okay.
to stay in the United
He's
States.
going
to stay in the United States?
Yes.
Well, then somebody
he's
better
a
let
Cuban refugee. He should stay in this country.
No, the kid, he's staying in the United States. I think that's a hell of a deal.
And if you do not believe me,
Right.
go to Cuba for 6 months.
okay.
And you're going to cry in 30 days, and you want to come back to this country.
That doesn't
go-
sound like a very
go
good
and
vacation. That doesn't
Go
sound...
and see the poverty and how they live.
Norwegian Cruise Line go down there?
You're going to cry in 30 days.
Why would I want to go down there?
Because I want you to go because you think that everything is good in Cuba. So you don't understand
I
the
can't even find it
communism.
on a map. I don't know whether it's good or not. Is it
Well,
anywhere
you
near the
don't
Bahamas?
understand the communism, and that's why you're trading
How many
that
resorts
you're going
do
to
they have?
hurt the Cuban people.
How many resorts do they have down there?
I don't know.
They got golf courses?
I don't know. But if you are so smart,
Cuba ain't got no
find out.
resort.
You find out
I like
and
that
go
Atlantis
to Cuba.
resort they got in the Bahamas. Is that the same deal?
Bahamas is the Bahamas. Cuba's something else. Thank you very much, ma'am, for your call. Thanks a lot, Jay. Good luck.
Well, I'm going to tell you something right now. We're all about saving lives, Phil.
Well, you better save your own, okay? First, guy's going to go down to the Bahamas thinking it's Cuba, go to the Atlantis resort. 1-800-449-8686. Phil Hendrie Show. Phil Hendrie Show, 1-800-449-8686. So you guys went to a party. Anyway, I didn't finish my story about the pimp on HBO, Pimps Are Us. I thought it deserved a little bit more time. I thought it was the most troubling thing. Some white cat, not that there's anything wrong with a white guy trying to be black. Any more than this, wouldn't you find it disturbing if you saw a black man trying to be white? If you saw a black guy affecting the mannerisms and speech, the speech more than anything else. Because this guy is driving down the street. He looked like Truman Capote in a wide-brim pimp costume.
But, you know, he's all about this, you know. Right, so the brothers, whatever, you know, I'm down in the hood, and I'm like this.
Little bald white man. And in that instance, I said, you know, there are some people that you wouldn't slow down for had you clipped them, say on a crosswalk. Suppose you're zooming through a crosswalk and you clip that cat. Would you slow down? No, of course not.
Some guys, you know, all that.
Any more than you'd see some black guy laying it out like, hi, would you like to go to we're having a lawn dart tournament. I don't know. So this was on HBO, which is a whole new world of satellite at our house. I can't get near that TV set. Oh, man. I would love to sit and watch and enjoy. I got Combat on the Action Channel. That's pretty nice. Saw a really cool ABA retrospective on HBO. We got, for the first month, we get everything. We got Stars. We got it all, man. I got all the DirecTV pay-per-view channels. I got it says right there where I can sign up for that NFL package. Guess it ain't going to do me much good in April, but I know where I can go to get it. And, of course, the kids are up there, and they're hogging the remote, and I want to kill them all. Not that it didn't, keep me from going to school today and protecting one of them against what I thought was unfair, treatment at the hands of a teacher, although I did find out that I was completely wrong. I walked out of there feeling really humiliated, and I'll never do it again, as long as I live. There's some things that never change, man. You can be 47 like I am, you can be 20, you can be 10. When you go in to see the principal, you're going in to see the principal, and you're nervous. You're nervous, you want to vomit. You don't want to be there. You want to go home. You don't want to even, why? Why? I don't know. It's all part of that full circle thing. Keep in mind that 40 years ago, there was my dad with 4 kids, putting in a pool, just bought a house, drinking heavily. 40 years later, here's his son doing the same thing. Putting in a pool, just bought a house, 4 kids, drinking heavily. Well, the drinking heavily thing, with one exception, I got a pool table. And I don't drink scotch. I drink tequila. My old man was very big on the Doers or whatever that crap, Canadian Club. Me, straight Don Julio Blanco. Thank you. You ever notice that, though? Maybe not in your life, but in mine, that's exactly what's happened in my life. And as I said before, I'm trying to not repeat the mistakes of the mistakes of our fathers. I'm trying to do it better than him. Because my dad lost his job. I remember the day he came home. I came home from school, and my father was home. I said, what the hell is he doing here? He was there to tell us all that he just got canned. He just got canned. I was in the 8th grade, and he said, so I lost my job today, so we're going to have to tighten belts around here, and your mother's going to have to go to work, and, your world is kind of rocked a little bit, So that's when my sister first put on a dress and started walking the streets. And I'll tell you, things were great after that. I'm kidding. But I found out I could make a little money, just a little money, selling dope. And you know what? That kept us in some money through my high school years. And I'm also kidding about that. Frank's sitting there going, really? Some of this stuff's got to be true. No, you know what I did? I took lawn jobs, man, and I washed dishes. And I had this one kid say to me one day, these very pivotal moments in your life. I think I told a story once or twice before, maybe 100 times. I forget. But I had one guy say to me, I was washing dishes at this restaurant out in Monrovia. It's all grass, man. No, he said to me, I know where they keep the money in this place. I said, yeah. He says, I know where they keep the money in this place, and we can get it. All we got to do is knock the night watchman over the head with a brick. Just knock him out, we'll get the money. I said, I don't think so. And you know where that kid is today? He's the president of a major corporation. I can't even make I can't rub two nickels together.